See you guys in like 30 seconds. I really hope that this works. See you soon. Hello? Okay, it doesn't look like Riley's here. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, guys. We got Relevant connecting to the stream. Hopefully, this is finally going to work. And we are going to be starting the live over on YouTube as soon as we are able to get the very first Trump supporter loaded up of the evening. Welcome in, AJ. I think you've already been up here a handful of times, so I am automatically going to kick you. Folks, just make sure if you do find yourself in the guest request that you're following the rules. I would really appreciate it if you guys would follow the rules this evening, just because I'm tired and I'm short on patience. What's up? Do you support Trump?
I used to.
But you don't anymore?
No, it was around like when COVID was around and stuff. I used to be like I'm not gonna say extreme MAGA, but
do you support Trump today?
No.
Oh, based. Well, that's awesome. I am going to go ahead and kick you and move on just because we're looking for some debates. Here we go, guys. We got that next guest loading up into the box right now. Here we go, folks. Just looking for some debates. As per usual, for the very first 2.4 thousand people join us, just make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen and sharing that live out. What's up, Nick? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do. I really like his big, beautiful orange ass.
Okay.
So juicy.
I'm gonna go on and assume that they're a troll. We're going to go to get that next guest loaded up into the box. Here we go, folks. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Second time, I'm back again. I love you.
Okay, moving on to the next guest. We got Billo loading up in, guys. Oh, my God. It's been a long day, guys. What's up? Do you support Trump?
No, fucking niggas.
Okay, it's a 12-year-old. Dude, your parents, man, are not good at all. See, I blame that a lot on the parents. You know, he was like,
I love you, 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 I love you.
Thank you for your kindness. He was like 10. You know, I think a lot of the fault for that falls down to the parents, of course. But guys, we are just looking for some debate, so please only join the queue if you're MAGA. Hello, CJ, are you MAGA? It's literally just children. Guys, this is not a daycare. This is a debate live. This is not a daycare. This is a debate live, folks. I would really appreciate it if you could respect that. We're going to go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Here we go. All right. Does it look like Logan is going to join? Let's try to get that next guest, Melissa, loaded up into the box. Melissa, I did send you an invitation. Invitation. Which one? You let me know. We're going to try to get that next guest connected right now, guys. All right. Let's see. Alex, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for that love, Alex. That's what's up. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump Static?
Yes.
And how old are you?
I am 17 years of age.
Okay. All right. You have to be at least 18, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the rules super duper quickly. If you want to join the live, you have to be an American adult that is at least 18 years of age or older, and you have to be MAGA. Those are my 3 rules, guys. If you're not following those rules, you are going to catch a ban super duper quickly. What is up? Do you support Trump?
Hello, I only got one question.
Okay, I'm going to go to take that as a no. Sarah, I don't know how many times I need to repeat myself. If you're not following the rules, I am going to ban you. Hello, do you support Trump?
Trump's orange ass is so big and juicy and delicious.
I'm going to take that as a big juicy no. Bio literally says 17. Dude, oh my God. Dude, holy shit, guys. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun today, guys. Woo, let's go. Can we get some W's in the chat for the great debates that we're having? What's up? Hey, do you support Trump?
Yo, Dean, I only got to say one thing. Hit your little fucking nicotine stick, little pussy ass bitch.
I'm gonna go ahead and take that as a yes, but like an underage yes. Like that guy was like definitely like 14. Let's go and move on to the next guest here, folks. We got Jack-o'-lantern loading up into the stream. Here we go, guys. Everyone, just give us a minute. What's up? Do you support Trump, Jack-o'-lantern?
I do.
Okay. All right. Okay. Perfect. Jack-o'-lantern.
I just have a quick question, though.
You don't want to debate? You're not here for a debate?
No, I am for a debate. I just want you to answer this question and give me your take on this.
Well, actually, I have a question for you. Do you mind if I could just get your patience for a little bit while we start the stream on YouTube?
Sure.
thank you, man. You know what? Hey, I really appreciate that. Let's go ahead and start that YouTube broadcast right now. Quite frankly, it takes around 20 seconds to start. Then we're going to do an intro, then we'll hop into the debate. Do be patient here just for a second. Hello and welcome into everybody that is tuning in on YouTube, and for all of those that have already joined us on TikTok, thank you so much for being here for the afternoon, or I guess evening it is now. A couple things for my YouTube viewers. I understand that my mic doesn't sound too good. I don't know why. If you tune into the TikTok stream, you'll see it sounds fine. Okay, perfect. It's a professional grade mic. For whatever reason, I'm having a complication on YouTube today and yesterday where it's really compressed, but you guys can still hear me, and that's what matters. Now, if you haven't been here before, let me tell you what we do. We debate Trump supporters, and in the process of doing so, we try to change their mind, because from my perspective, Donald Trump is the worst president of my lifetime, the worst president in modern American history, and one of the worst presidents in the totality of American history. And every single day, Donald Trump does something new that sets a new precedent of just how bad a precedent can be. Now, we already have our very first Trump supporter of the day loaded up into the stream. I usually like to go over the breaking news, and there is some breaking news of the last 24 hours that we could discuss, but I don't want to keep Mr. Jack-o'-lantern, his name is, waiting too long. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to you, sir. Tell us why you support Trump. You have my full attention, but I am going to be multitasking a little bit here in the beginning, just getting things set up on YouTube. Take it away.
Well, the first thing I want to do, and I haven't had a chance to say this to you, is I am very impressed the way that you reacted and spoke about the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Okay.
And I mean that,
Okay.
Bottom of my heart, I mean that.
Well,
Secondly,
listen. If that means I think my takeaway from that is if that opens up your mind to talking to me a little bit more, hopefully that means you'd be more open to me changing your mind on why you support Trump. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm done talking about Charlie Kirk on the live. But go ahead.
That's fine. But I'm more curious as to, is it my correct feeling that you were happy with the district court, the federal district court judges in that said that Trump had to fund SNAP?
Yeah, of course I'm happy with that.
And my next question is, do you really want federal district judges having nothing to do with Trump controlling the president of the United States? I don't think the Constitution was ever meant to do that.
If they're within their legal and constitutional ability to do so, then absolutely. And if those rulings stand, then they absolutely are within their constitutional abilities to do so.
Well, the rulings haven't stood.
What's that?
They haven't stood. I mean,
they've already been overruled?
I think not these two.
Okay, right. So far they're standing. Now, if they get overruled, feel free to come up here and make that argument. However, as it stands today, because they have not been overruled, those courts were within their constitutional ability to force President Trump into giving a shit about American citizens. You know what I would say, right, is that I think it is you and other Trump supporters that have the big problem here, because you have found yourselves supporting a president that cares so little about the American people that he will refuse to allot any type of funding to keep food stamps going during November. And he's also refused to give states promises, well, in the lack of funding, that if the states pick up the bill for now until the end of the shutdown, that they will be reimbursed after. And I believe the reason why he has failed to deliver, right, on these two bases, right, is so he could then turn around, and when we have 41 million Americans starving, he could say, it's the Democrats' fault. The same way he said the pandemic was Biden's fault. Right? What that tells me is that Donald Trump cares more about, quote unquote, owning the libs and making Democrats look bad than he cares about 41 million American citizens. How can you say that he's truly MAGA, that he's truly American first, right, when he gives so little shits about this country and the people in it?
Well, that was certainly a lot of rhetoric, and there's a lot of issues that I would absolutely disagree with you. But my concern is with the ability that you think a federal district judge should, and this has nothing to do with Trump, this has to do with 20 years from now, that a federal district judge in Massachusetts can prevent the president from doing something in Washington State. I mean, to say what's constitutional, what isn't, everybody can say that, but it's not true until and unless the SJC says it's
Wait,
unconstitutional.
you're saying that you take an issue with a judge preventing the president from doing something unconstitutional?
No, again, I think you're misquoting me. Let me try again.
Right, because the argument from the courts, right, and the ruling that stands, right, and keep in mind I'm not familiar with the specifics, is that, right, in Trump refusing to allot funding to continue SNAP benefits through November, right, he's doing something illegal, right? And it is because they found him to do something illegal, breaking some law. I'm not sure which one, honestly. I'm not a lawyer, nor have I looked into the specifics of the cases, right? That they can then order the Trump administration to take funding, to, you know, give these benefits out during November while the government shutdown is ongoing. So I actually take a lot of issue with you telling me that you don't think judges should be able to prevent the president from doing something illegal, right? Because what that tells me is that you don't want a president that plays by the rules. You don't want checks and balances. You want a dictator.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. A federal district judge, I don't believe our founding fathers ever thought that they would be the ones as part of the checks and balances. The Supreme Court is, and so far, Trump has been the only one that I'm familiar with that has had federal district judges literally try to tell him what he can and cannot do as president in 49 of the other states. And
listen, sir, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Judges, right, have the ability to rule that people are doing things that are illegal, including the president.
Yes, they do. Absolutely. Yes, they do. And
Right,
yes,
right. I think that's as far.
overturned.
I think that is as far as the conversation goes. Right.
Why
And yes,
would you say
yeah,
that?
the Trump administration can appeal that ruling. Okay, that ruling can be contested. It's possible
haven't.
that
They
ruling
14th
could be
Amendment was the same
overturned.
way.
Right. But it is the
Yeah.
case, right, that you cannot get mad at a judge for ruling that Donald Trump is doing something illegal.
I'm not mad. I'm more concerned about.
You're
not-
concerned that a judge is ruling that Trump is
It
doing
has
something.
it has nothing to do with Trump. I'm concerned that if this behavior is accepted as a normal way to provide the checks and balances to the president, you know, it's much like the 14th Amendment. The SJC didn't rule because they loved Donald Trump.
If it wasn't
They
if it
ruled-
wasn't for these federal judges, then Donald Trump's executive order number 14160 that he signed into law his first day in office that violated the 14th Amendment would still be standing. Okay? So you should be thankful that these federal judges have made rulings against Trump and what he's doing insofar as a fight to preserve the Constitution, right, and the rights in which it offers to those that have them. Okay? If it wasn't for those federal judges, there would be so many people in this country today that according to Trump's EO don't have a claim to birthright citizenship, then according to his administration would not be treated as if they have that right, even though according to the Constitution they do, right? And it took federal judges around America ruling that EO is unconstitutional in order for those individuals' rights to be
Has
truly
the
preserved.
SJC ruled on that?
The Supreme Court has not made a ruling on that EO, and matter of fact, they don't even need to, right? Because the federal judges already have, right? So you should be thankful to federal judges, right, for
It's
protecting
up
the
to the
constitutional
SJC.
rights of individuals in this country. Now,
But
the
it's
question
up
I
to
have
the
for you that you have not
SJC.
answered yet is why do you support Trump as president? That is the question on the top of the screen that I would like to hear.
I'll
An
give
answer
you a
to.
few things. I'd be happy to give you a few things. One, I'm very happy the way he dealt with Iran. Two, I really am very happy that he had the vast majority, if not all of NATO, come to Washington, D.C. to meet, to try to address the Hamas-Israel issue. I'm glad he was in Southeast Asia this last week. I'm glad he's meeting with Xi. And while he hasn't been successful with Putin, and yes, he's changed his position, and that's called politics, I think he is indeed working. And again, you can believe that the Republicans are closing the government. I don't even disagree with that. But you know what? 5 senators could open the government as well. That's a choice. Neither one is good. Neither one is the savior of this country. But you can't sit and scream, people are starving, when if 5 senators, Democratic senators said, you know what? Open the government, let's get this done. Let's go talk. Talking about bringing Congress back. Congress has already passed the continuing resolution, and it's up to the Senate, and the Senate needs 60. I hope to God that Trump doesn't use the quote nuclear option, because I really think that an issue like this of keeping the government open, Schumer did 180 this time. I don't know why. Not that I'm a supporter or a non-supporter of Schumer, excuse me. I don't give either side my 100% support. Never have, never will.
Yeah.
But I don't think
Can I hop in here?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I asked you why you support Trump. You gave me like 3 minuscule reasons. The first reason the first reason that you gave me is that
Having NATO.
Okay, thank you so much.
All
If you
being
allow me to finish
Washington is
speaking.
minuscule?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Right? I'm going to go ahead and respond to your points now. Thank you so much for the interruptions. I appreciate that, man. Right? So the first reason that you gave is that he's meeting with Xi. Okay. And if you want to tell me like what he's doing with Xi, right, to help further this country in a positive direction, right, or make America great, right, make the world great, feel free, right. But at the end of the day, he also took healthcare away from 10 million people under the big beautiful bill, right. And I care significantly more about right the 10 million low-income Americans that lost access to healthcare than I do care about him having a meeting with Xi. Like what? And then about like Russia and Ukraine, you said that you support him because of Russia and Ukraine too. Well, I mean, matter of fact, he's a failure when it comes to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. He said that he'd end their invasion on day one. We're now 10 months into his term and things have only gotten worse. And you said he's changed his position. Yes, he has assumed the position that Democrats have been holding for the last 2 years. So maybe, right, the blue was right all along. And then the third reason...
They weren't successful.
They weren't successful in ending the war. Well, they didn't claim that they would, right? They absolutely never claimed that they would end the war on day one like Trump. And what they also did is they didn't back off of applying international pressure on Russia to embolden them to hit Ukraine harder. Like you understand, right? Since the beginning of Donald Trump's second term, so far, we've seen Russia dropping the most bombs on a month-by-month basis that they have on Ukraine since the beginning of their invasion, right? Because, right, Donald Trump has taken more international pressure off of Russia, at least he did in the beginning of his second term, with rescinding aid and funding for the Ukrainian military. Also, have I talked to you before?
Oh, yeah, just a couple of times.
Just a couple? Wait, you're saying I've talked to you like more than once?
Yeah. Usually
multiple times, so unfortunately I'm going to go and move on to the next guest just a couple of times. Jesus Christ. All right, let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box here, folks. River, thank you so much for the 10 euros over on YouTube, who says, these Trump supporters can't do any basic research. They're in a cult. I pray this shit doesn't spread to the UK. I love what you do. Deem, keep at it, mate. Thank you so much, River. Show some love to River. What's up, Lisa? Do you support Trump? Lisa Johnson? Okay, Lisa Johnson is not with us. By the way, I've seen a handful of comments in the chat saying, Dean, you need to get a tan. I promise I'm not actually this pale. I'm just kind of bad with like...
Stop vaping.
1 second. I'm kind of bad with like white balance management.
Stop vaping.
I told you to calm down. Stop interrupting me.
Stop vaping.
We all heard you the first time.
It's not an anxiety pen. Stop vaping.
Can I finish speaking?
Okay.
Thank you. Holy shit. Like I was saying, I'm really bad at white balance management, like on my camera. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have a clue what I'm doing. I figured it out for, like the studio at home, but I'm on the go and it's like, I don't know. I don't think I set the white balance up right and I look super pale. But anyways, what's up, E? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
And how old are you?
18.
Okay. And what time is it?
What time is it? Yes. I don't know.
You don't know what time it is? All right. Then I don't know that you're in America, so I'm going to go to kick you and move on to the next guest. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box. While we do, thank you so much, Lenny, for the 20 euros over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much, Lenny, who says, free Palestine, free Ukraine, free the USA. I'm going to add one more on there, free Sudan. If you haven't been paying attention, I'm planning to make a video on this and to talk about it more. I've just been traveling. I'm still in Boulder. Please take a look at what's going on in Sudan. There is an active, ongoing genocide. The amount of people that they are slaughtering in the streets, right, is so insane and so insidious that you can see the bloodstains from space. So, and I've seen a lot of people talking about this. I've seen videos on my For You page with millions of likes talking about this. And I am grateful that people care. I'm grateful that people care. And we all need to start talking about it a little bit more. Myself, excuse me, myself included. But Lenny, thank you so much for the 20 euros over on YouTube. Thank you so much for the love, Lenny. We are going to go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Go ahead and hop inside of that queue if you happen to be MAGA. We'll happily get you loaded up in here. Allie, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo, who says, I hope you had a very happy Halloween. I hope you have some good debates today. Thank you, Allie. Yeah, it was a pretty good night. Pretty good night. Thank you. I hope you had a happy Halloween as well. Thank you for the $10. What's going on? Do you support Trump? LG? Okay, LG's not here. We're going to move on to the next guest, Andrew. Here we go. All right. What is up, Andrew? Do you support Trump?
I sure do. Wait, hold on. What, sir? What?
Are you sure now's a good time?
Yeah. Have you never heard a child cry?
No, I've heard a child cry. I just want to make sure that the crying children are being attended to.
He's right next to me.
Being given attention. Okay. All right. So I about asked for your age. I think you're over the age of 18. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support the worst president of your life.
I don't think he's the worst president of our life.
That's what we're here to debate.
So do you think if Kamal was president now, she'd be doing a better job?
Yeah, obviously.
In what ways?
Well, in one way, I don't think that she would have taken healthcare away from 10 million low-income Americans, food stamps away from 3 million low-income Americans, through the largest redistribution
of wealth from
the rich and modern American. Yes, it is. This was under the big beautiful bill.
I'm sorry, they're talking about like right now with the government shutdown.
Oh no, we're talking about the 3 million low-income Americans that lost access to food stamps under the big beautiful bill. Right?
Well,
so that's one way that Kamala Harris would be doing significantly better. She would have passed the most expensive. I'm gonna have to have you. I can't. I'm sorry. You take care, Andrew. Feel free to re-request if you find some time when you don't have crying children on the mic. Nothing wrong about crying children. Children cry. Just a little bit too distracting. What's up? Do you support Trump, VVS?
Let me ask you a question.
Nope. I'm gonna have you answer that question first. Do you support Trump?
Let me think. You know what? Sure, I do.
I don't believe you. We're going to move on to the next guest, guys. Let's get that next guest loaded up into the box. Right now, go ahead and hop inside of that queue. If you happen to be a Trump supporter, we will happily get you loaded up into the box, y'all. Here we go. The next guest is loading up right now. If you happen to be one of the 6.1 thousand people hanging out with us on TikTok, folks, make sure that we're double tapping. And if you're part of the 2,000 people hanging out with us on YouTube, make sure that we're doing the same over there. And River, thank you so much for another 10 pounds over on Super Chat. Thank you so much, River. Hey, what's going on, Garrett? Do you support Trump? Garrett, you got 5 seconds before you're banned. And you're banned. Moving on. All right. Well, he started to say something there at the very end. Oh, my. All right. We got the next guest, Alex, connecting, folks. Please only join that cube. You're hello.
What's up, man?
Hey, Alex. Do you support Trump?
Yep.
And how old are you?
Oh, I'm 18.
Yeah. And what year were you born in?
2005.
Okay. Well, you actually can't be 18 born in 05. Moving on to the next guest, guys. Just make sure that we're following the rules. You got to be an American adult. You have to be MAGA, and you have to be 18 plus. Hello. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And why is that? Quite frankly.
Well, look. Obviously, there's a lot of things that Trump has done that have not been so good. He's spoken a lot of bullshit, and he's made a lot of people mad. And I've seen, one of the things that actually made me support him is the judicial appointments. But to actually play the devil's advocate, the people he appointed actually ruled against him, which he's not happy about. That was kind of embarrassing. The other thing that I actually supported him on was his 2016 accomplishments and all the things that he ran on, the platform he ran on. One of the first things was the the trade, right? The Trans-Pacific Partnership, he withdrew it. And then he redid the NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement, and replaced it with, what was it?
USMCA.
Yeah, USMCA. Mm-hmm.
Do you support the USMCA?
Yeah, I mean, it generated $80 billion in economic activity, created new jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. So you support having lower barrier to trades with our allies?
I mean, it wasn't lower barrier, right? It was
lower barriers. It reduced barriers to trades like tariffs and other related taxes. It just made trade easier between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. And it's funny, right? Because if you know anything about Donald Trump 2.0, right? He's been all about barriers to trade. He's been all about 100%. Imposing tariffs on our allies. In fact, he has said that the USMCA is shit. And right now, what was one of the first things that he did in his second term? Up the tariffs on Canada, up the tariffs on Mexico, and gave a big middle finger to the terms negotiated under the USMCA. So you were just parading the USMCA around as one of Trump's accomplishments, something that was good. But how can you still possibly support him today, given the fact that he's already infringed on that agreement and re-implemented higher barriers to trades with high tariffs on both Canada and Mexico?
Right. On that point, I'll say I'll 100% agree with you. He did go back on his 2016 platform.
Right. Because the question on top of my head is, how the hell do you still support Trump as president? And then the answer to that question was something that he's already walked back on and infringed on.
He's walked back on, yeah. He did, yeah. That's very true. I mean, you know what? To pivot from the trade, you obviously right there. He did go ahead and tariff the shit out of all these countries. I mean, obviously, he did that on the basis that we're going to make U.S. economy, U.S. manufacturers, U.S. jobs a lot more, I guess.
Wait, but I thought that you said reducing those barriers to trade through the USMCA generated $80 billion in economic activity.
That number, I think it's around 80 billion, 70 to 80 billion.
That's what you said. Right. So you're saying reducing tariffs generates money for our economy. So what does that mean when we increase tariffs?
Well, I'm saying when you increase tariffs, obviously right, and a lot of capitalist and a lot of right-wing and conservative ideology is we tariff the shit out of these countries. That in turn will make U.S. manufacturers be a lot more useful and I guess used by the company.
So explain to me how this could be the case. Explain to me how reducing barrier to trades generates economic activity in our country, but then increasing barrier to trades also generates more economic activity in our country. I don't think that those two things could be true at the same time. Okay, it can simultaneously be true that lowering our tariffs on Canada is beneficial to the American economy, while it is also true that apparently increasing our tariffs on Canada is beneficial to the American economy. That serves a contradiction. You can't say these two things at the same time. You can't say, I love the USMCA and I love violating the USMCA and imposing tariffs on Canada simultaneously. Those two things are contradictory.
All right, so let's put it this way. Let's say a distributor in America buys aluminum from China.
Well, I'm so sorry. Could you just respond to what I just said? Could you address my argument that you can't say those two things simultaneously? They're contradictory.
Yeah, but here's one thing that I can pretty much put as an example, right?
Well, I don't want an example quite yet. Can you just affirm or deny that this is contradictory?
Yeah, it is. It's very contradictory, right?
Okay, so then you admit that you have a contradictory argument.
Yeah, no, but I'm not arguing that. I even agreed with you that he went back on his 2016 USMCA deal, and he's tariffing the shit out of people, right? I completely agree.
But are you arguing that the tariffs are beneficial?
The tariffs are not beneficial. I believe they're not. That's why I first said the USMCA. What he did with NAFTA, changing it to USMCA, was a great thing. Now he went back on it and he kind of screwed it up. But let me give you an example on why a tariff might be beneficial.
Well, since we could agree they're not beneficial, we don't even need to have that conversation since we don't disagree. So now that we've agreed that Donald Trump's tariffs are harmful, how the hell could you still support him as president today?
I mean, look, that's not the only thing that I support him on. I said,
you don't support him at all on that because you think that it's wrong and harmful.
Well, I mean, just to put it out there, the example was distributor in America buys aluminum from China. China gets tariffed. Obviously, the distributor is the one who pays that tariff. It's not the country of China that pays it, right? So if the distributor looks towards American domestic manufacturers, that will, in fact, actually, they'll make, American manufacturers a lot more useful, right?
Now you're debating against yourself.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are, because you just got done saying that his tariffs are harmful, and now you're saying that they're useful. So which
I'm
one
not
is
saying they're useful. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
what? That's literally the word that you just used.
literally the example that I'm giving is like devil's advocate of why they would think that, you know, it would be.
Okay. But you admit that you don't agree and that you don't.
I
think
don't
that.
agree. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't agree.
And the question is, how do you support Trump?
How do I? Okay. Honestly, I'll tell you this. The 2016, I'm going to go back on it a lot. The 2017, actually.
Well, remember, the question is, why do you support Trump as president today?
I'll tell you this one right now. So the main reason why I actually supported Trump, the reason why I voted for him again in 2020, was obviously what he was running on, and it was like the proof of what the 2017 presidency came from, right? So it was the deregulations and then the tax relief. So when he signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, more than 6 million Americans got wage increases, bonuses, benefits thanks to these tax cuts. And I think typical average family, like American family that made a household a total of like 80 to 90,000, got more than $2,000 in tax cuts, and they got double the standard deduction. That made the first 24,000 earned by a married couple, I think, completely tax free, if I'm not mistaken.
Just let me know when you're done, and I'll respond.
I'm done.
Okay, so you support him because you think that the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was beneficial. I'd give the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
We have got to the point where literally any.
Sorry, I'd give the Tax Cuts and the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act a big ol' C-. The reason why I would give that to the TCJA is because although it helped the average American, 80% of the cuts in the bill went to members of the top 1%, and it costs like close to $2 trillion. But anyways, right, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is not the tax policy that he passed this time around, okay? Because in addition to the TCJA, under the Big Beautiful Bill, including in consideration of all provisions, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, right, the purchasing power of 156 million American citizens is going down. According to the CBPP, if you make at or under $51,000 per year, you are at the end of the day going to be worse off because of the Big Beautiful Bill. Not to mention the fact that that same bill is economic policy of Trump 2.0 this time around, kicked 10 million people off of health insurance, 3 million people off of food stamps, and it was single-handedly the most expensive piece of legislation that has ever been passed in this country, clocking in at $4.5 trillion.
I mean, the question is, how do you still support Trump? To this current day right now, obviously everybody's support is wavering. The reason I brought the TCJA up was actually, you gave it a C-, but it did actually, increase the standard deduction, right? It did lower tax rates. It expanded the child tax credit.
Right, but keep in mind, Donald Trump has passed new economic policy since then. He passed the Big Beautiful Bill, and the Big Beautiful Bill was terrible, right? Do you agree?
Right. Yeah, completely right. I completely agree.
Okay, so then you wouldn't still support Donald Trump as president if you care about economic policy, and he passed a terrible piece of economic policy as his tax cuts for Donald Trump 2.0.
I mean, would you agree that these policies actually benefit small business in America?
No, actually, I completely disagree with that. And the reason why I'd say that is because, Donald Trump replaced the progressive corporate tax rate with a flat corporate tax rate. So on small businesses, it in fact made their corporate tax rate go up. Not to mention, I think that his tariffs are also incredibly harmful to small businesses because small businesses, they don't have the ability to spend the billions or millions of dollars on the infrastructure to make the raw materials required to produce their goods in America. So they're reliant on raw materials, for the most part, produced outside of America. And now because of those tariffs, those raw materials are going to be significantly more expensive for them, meaning that they are going to have to sell their goods for a higher price or go out of business. And, if they don't go out of business and they sell their goods at a higher price, then they're going to have less individuals buying their goods, right? And their company is going to operate inefficiently since they're selling their products for a price beyond that of equilibrium. Right? But so just to clarify where we're at today, you told us that you support Trump because of his economic policy, but his Big Beautiful Bill, the big economic policy, the Trump economic policy, right? You agree was terrible. And now I've been able to give you an explanation how not just that economic policy and his tax reform, but also his other policies, such as his tariffs, right, are incredibly harmful to small businesses. So how the hell can you still support Donald Trump, given that you've actually agreed to these things?
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of the things you're saying obviously are a lot well versed on than I am. Well, better versed on than I am. The one thing that I was actually going to bring up with TCGA and the Big Beautiful Bill was Section 179, right? Expensing for small business, I think permanent. Well, and it was a temporary expensing for some qualified businesses. And it was actually a good addition that would, need to be made permanent for long-term economic growth. It brought stability to individual income tax, and it actually secured the extension of the rates and brackets of the 2017 individual tax cuts for household and businesses, right? The law also
I already responded to this. I feel like you're not listening to me and you're reading off of a screen.
No, I am.
If you were listening to me, then you would have heard me say that when we factor in for the totality of the Big Beautiful Bill, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, right, it's the case that the after-tax income, or more so the purchasing power of the average American, is going to go down. Right? If you make at or under $51,000 per year, your purchasing power is going to go down. Meanwhile, the purchasing power of everybody making over that dollar amount goes up, and it goes up disproportionately more compared to your income, the more money that you make. It is the largest redistribution of wealth from the poor to the rich in modern American history.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and then when I was talking about helping small businesses, and you said it didn't.
Can you respond to that very specific point that I just made?
Right, yeah, you're completely right. It is redistributing the wealth from the rich to the poor, and
no, from the poor to the rich.
So yeah, sorry, from the poor to the rich, and then
so you don't. Do you support a redistribution of wealth from the poor to the rich?
No, obviously not.
Okay, so then you don't support the Big Beautiful Bill, right?
The Big Beautiful Bill has a lot of components that I don't support.
Just all things considered, right? Do you think it's more harmful than beneficial, or do you think it's more beneficial than harmful?
I mean, I think it's more harmful than beneficial, honestly.
Okay, so then you'd argue here that all things considered, if the Big Beautiful Bill wasn't passed, things would be better off. Therefore, all things considered, if Donald Trump wasn't elected in November, America would be better off.
I mean, look, this is the point that I hate about the Big Beautiful Bill. Obviously, in addition to what you said, it spends a lot, way too much money on this.
I don't know how we got onto expenditure. I want you to directly respond to the last point I made, because I feel as if the last point just ended the debate, right? I feel like that was the debate ender. You told me that the Big Beautiful Bill, all things considered, is bad, implying that if it wasn't passed, all things considered, America would be better off. Therefore, if Donald Trump was not elected, right, America would be better today.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say America would be better today, but if the Big Beautiful Bill was altered, then, I mean, you're right on that. The Big Beautiful Bill did screw a lot of things up that he was working towards from the 2017 presidency.
You have to say America would be better today, though, because when you agreed that the Big Beautiful Bill is all things considered harmful, all that you're saying there is that if it was never passed, things would be better off, right? Because if you're not arguing, right, that if it wasn't passed, things would be better off, then what do you even mean when you say all things considered it's harmful?
All things considered it's harmful. It means majority of the things that are in the Big Beautiful Bill are not good, but there are a few things.
Right. Therefore, if the Big Beautiful Bill was never passed, things would be better off today, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But you say
so perfect. So here's what we know. Here's what we know so far about you. So you think that if Donald Trump's biggest bill ever never passed, things would be better off today. You think if Donald Trump's tariffs were never passed, things would be better off today. So how the hell can you still support Trump as president today, considering the fact that the main things he has done so far in the last 10 months are things that you vehemently disagree with?
I'll admit it. It's hard. Right? It is hard to support him right now as it stands. The only thing that keeps my support for him is the fact that the promise from the 2017 presidency and the economic growth from that and the tax cuts and everything that he did well from there was actually a beacon of hope for this presidency. It is becoming increasingly hard
So when you're saying it's becoming increasingly hard to support him, do you still support him?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Yeah,
okay, so what has he done so far in his second term that you like? Because so far, every single thing that we've discussed about his second term, right, are all things that you don't like.
You know what? The main thing that's kept me on Trump's side is the foreign, the foreign and domestic. The foreign part has actually made me a lot more.
Okay, what foreign policy? Could you be a little bit more specific?
Let me just say this. Look, he is not bad. I'm not gonna say he's good, but he's not bad for the foreign. What I mean is like the wars and everything going on in the world.
Tell me one foreign policy that he's passed that you agree with. Tell me one thing that he's done, all right, on the global stage.
One thing that he's done, let's just say he's put an end to 30-year conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan, right? He's done that one. He put an end to, he didn't put an end to, obviously. I'm going to say this. It was broke, the ceasefire. He at least attempted to, and he got semi-successfully in the beginning. Obviously, it was broken after by both parties, Israel and Palestine. And to actually tell you, I am more in support of Palestine than I am of Israel. But he did.
Hey, are you racist?
No, why?
What's this?
What is it? I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
It's one of your reposts.
Yeah, this account, it's not just mine. I have like 4 people using this account.
So it's one of the other people that are on your account that are racist?
Right. I don't know. I don't even go on this account really.
Well, I mean, can we like agree that like it's like obviously like racist? Well, I mean, I could describe it, right? Because apparently you can't see it with your own eyes. So it's an AI video, right, making racist caricatures out of black individuals, right? And then it's like having them in the AI video, right? Like steal things from like stores, and then it's calling them looters. Yeah, it's having them like hide behind dumpsters, right? It's having like these AI racist caricatures of like black individuals hide behind dumpsters with the things that they stole from Target, and then calling them looters.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's unbelievably racist.
So would you say like one of the other people that apparently have access to this account is like
That's awful.
racist?
Yeah, completely racist. That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Okay, so why do like unbelievably racist people have access to your TikTok?
Dude, I don't even know who would repost that. I have like 4 people on this TikTok account that I share it with, and I don't know who use that. If you look at my posts, there's nothing even remotely racist on my stuff.
So I mean, like they seem like pretty like outspokenly racist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty damn bad.
Right. So like which one of your friends is like outspokenly like unbelievably racist?
I mean, to be quite honest with you, most of them are pretty shitty. I mean, not like racist, I wouldn't say. Like, they're just like, edgy, I guess. And they're all older, too, which is pretty fucking humiliating. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm inherently racist or any of my friends are inherently racist.
So why do you like 4 of your friends have access to your account?
I mean, it's just a TikTok account we all made together. And then I
guess the question is like, why?
I don't know. It's because, we didn't really want to use TikTok, and then one of them got it, and then he shared the account with us. And then I pretty much started, I put my profile photo on there, and I just went from there.
Okay, so you just got access to an account, and then...
yeah, we just shared it, and, we would watch videos on TikTok, yeah.
Yeah, when do you think, you took the account over?
I never took it over. I just,
No? So yeah. I mean, so how long? But you just said you made it your account. You put your profile picture on it. You've been using it. How long have you been doing that for?
Not too long. Maybe a few days.
Just a few days?
Probably, yeah. Since I uploaded my profile picture, yeah.
Yeah. Because this repost is from last week.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. I don't even repost anything. Seriously, I'm not racist. That's a piece of shit thing to do. I'm not even here. I'm not even debating you that Trump is a
you said you took it. You said that you took the account over a few days ago. Well, this repost is from yesterday.
No, I don't know what these videos are. I'm not even.
Wait. Look at your repost. Let's listen.
I'm serious. I'm not even reposting.
Can we listen to it?
Yeah, sure.
When I get older, I want to have 20 baby daddies. They all gonna pay me child support. I get my EBT. I'm set.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Get a job.
That's terrible.
No, I know you didn't say that. When I get older.
Jesus Christ.
So this one was reposted 2 days ago.
Dude, I don't even repost videos. Dean, I'm telling you, I don't even repost them. If I was a racist, why would
shit! No, this video, this was actually reposted today, right? Because now this Dylan Page video about Sudan, this was reposted before this video, right? That is just totally being racist towards black women. and Dylan Page posted this video 2 days ago. Therefore, it'd be like reliable to assume that like this video is like reposted today.
Bro, not my repost. I'm telling you, there's no reason for me to defend that. There's no reason.
But I thought that you said like you took the account over, right? Like
I didn't take it over. We're still sharing it.
No,
I didn't tell you that I took it over.
Okay, all right.
Dude, if I was racist, I would.
I don't believe him. We're gonna move on to the next guest. I think that I was asking him all those questions just to try to make it obvious how like absolutely insane his view is. And apparently, according to some people in the chat, it was like literally reposted like an hour ago. The repost is from 58 minutes ago. Yeah, an hour ago, right before he joined the stream. Why is he just lying, dude? What's up? Do you support Trump? Victoria? All right, Victoria's not here. We're going to move on to the next guest, guys. Only join in that queue if you are an American adult that supports Trump as president. If that's you, go ahead and hop in that queue for me. I'll happily bring you up onto the live to have a conversation. I want to thank a couple people here. Thank you so much for the $5 over on PayPal. Darius with the $5 says, I'm so sick of this administration. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for the love, Darius. And then Elite Gunner, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal, who says, awesome debates, Dean. Heck yeah. Thank you for the love, Elite Gunner. And then Cine, thank you so much for the $11 on PayPal, who says, I'm watching from Germany in the middle of the night. Always looking forward to your debates. Love what you do, and thank you so much for educating everybody. Well, thank you, Cine. That is SINI. Thank you, Elite Gunner, and thank you, Darius. Chat, if you make sure to show some love. Sorry, to Darius, Elite Gunner, and Cine down below. Hey, welcome. And do you support Trump?
Please don't ban me, Dean. I'm really sorry.
Yo, it's Farmson fetus. Get the hell out of here. Banned. I'm just kidding, but I, gotta be at least 18. By the way, if you're watching and you're like, hey, I like this Dean guy. Yeah, I like what he does. And you want to support me, you can actually find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. You can also find it in the pin message of my YouTube stream. I think that's a child. We're going to kick him and move on to the next guest. We got that next Trump supporter loading up in right now. Quite frankly. Hello, do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
And how old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay, you're 20 years old. So the title of my YouTube stream is Trump is threatening to declare war? Right? And I was supposed to go over that as like breaking news when we first started the stream. I never did. So maybe I can honestly ask you this as a first question since you're a Trump supporter. Donald Trump ran on like the pro-peace, anti-war ticket. He said he's going to end Russia's invasion of Ukraine. He's going to, end Israel's ethnic cleansing of Palestine. But so far, he's only given a promise that he'd help Israel in their ethnic cleansing of Palestine. His ceasefire, his peace agreement, was broken. Russia's only hit Ukraine harder. And now he's threatening to declare war on Nigeria and threatening to declare war on Venezuela. And in both scenarios, it's not just words, it's action. He has said that we are going to kill the leader of Venezuela. We have Navy warships moving towards them right now. And he, on Truth Social today, said that he's already started to prepare the Department of War, which he renamed, of course, it used to be called the Department of Defense, to invade and declare war on Nigeria.
So you're saying that Trump said that he's going to go to war with like multiple places?
Yeah. Right now it's Venezuela.
After finishing a war? Or quote unquote?
Right now it's Venezuela and Nigeria.
Oh, that's crazy. Not going to lie.
So why do you still support him as president?
To be honest, just because, this was obviously my first time voting, obviously. So, I went through just a lot of studying on both sides, and Kamala wasn't a huge fan of. Thought that some of the stuff that her and the, I guess we'll call it Democratic side, were promoting versus Trump, I know a lot of the stuff he said he lied about, like stuff that he said he'd do in the first day, which I didn't expect him to because it's physically impossible. I was mostly on his team because he said he wasn't supporting, the 2025 plan or whatever it was?
Project 2025?
Yes, Project 2025. Because he
the
said
architect of Project 2025 is his right-hand man, Stephen Miller.
I know. He said he wasn't going to go by it when he was running, but then said that he was going to veer towards it later on, sort of. I thought that for the tariffs part, I thought that he was going to kind of just push it for a while and then take it back to try to lower the economy that way, kind of just spike it up and then bring it back down.
Okay,
in a way.
but is that what he's doing?
No, sadly.
Okay, so you're saying that like you voted for him because you thought he was going to do all these things that he hasn't ended up doing. Can you read this off real quick?
Dean, I just requested because I wanted to say hi.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the box, folks. If you are in the queue, guys, just please make sure that you are supposed to be there. Make sure that you are a Trump supporter. We'll bring you up for a chat. Ruth, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal. Ruth with the $10 says, sending love and a small donation from a boomer who loves watching you school MAGA. Well, thank you so much, Ruth. You are awesome. Chat, show some love to fucking Ruth down below in that comment section. Thank you so much. As well as Jude, thank you so much for the $8 over on Venmo. And Brianna, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Brianna says, quote unquote, I liked his policies from his first presidency. Sounds like somebody who's in a shitty relationship saying, but it was good in the beginning. That's a good point, Brianna. Thank you so much, Brianna, Jude, and Ruth. And then Morgan, thank you for the $1 over on PayPal as well. You were awesome. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
I'm not a Trump supporter. I just want to say, man, you are speaking the truth and keep doing your thing, brother.
Well, appreciate you for that love, Alec. I will just go ahead and repeat for everybody in here, just to, make sure that we're, headed in a positive direction here. Make sure that you are only in the queue if you are an American adult.
Fuck you, Dean. Long live Charlie Kirk, man. Fuck you.
Okay, very nice. One moment.
Long live Charlie Kirk. Fuck you, Dean.
I heard you the first time, buddy.
I'll beat your ass. Fuck you, Dean.
You sound very angry.
Yeah, long live Charlie Kirk, man.
Charlie? I'm not going to say that. Anyways, why are you so
What are you
angry?
going to say? Say it.
No. Don't worry about it.
Fucking pussy.
Just
Fuck you. Long live Charlie Kirk, man.
Why are you so angry?
Oh, you're a bitch.
Oh, so I made you angry because I come on here and I debate people about why they support Trump?
You're scared, Dean. You're scared.
It sounds like facts piss you off. You're a goddamn snowflake.
You're not speaking facts.
Okay, then go ahead and give me a counter argument against one thing I believe in. Like for instance, let's hear your very sophisticated and intelligent response to this.
You're a bitch, man. Fuck you, dude.
That's the best counter argument I've ever heard. Best counter argument I've ever heard.
Charlie Kirk.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Best counter argument I've ever heard. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest here, guys. Go ahead and hop inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. We got Victor loading up into the box right now. Elizabeth, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Appreciate you so much for the love, Elizabeth. Elizabeth with the $10 says, always watching your lives. I hope you had a good Halloween and a good day. Yes, I had a good Halloween. Thank you for the love, Elizabeth. It was pretty crazy. I'm not going to lie. Halloween gets pretty nuts here in Boulder, but it was fun. That's why I came out here. Thank you so much for the $10, Elizabeth. What's up, Victor? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Age right now, Victor.
34.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Tashina, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. He says, am I a boomer at age 49? I love what you're doing. Well, thank you for the love. And actually, no, you're not a boomer. So the last year, in order to qualify as a boomer that you could have been born in is 1964. So if you were born in 1965, or in a year, after 1965, then you are not technically a boomer. What year were you born in, Victor? Victor, what year were you born in?
1991.
And what's a popular band from the early 2000s?
91. Rap or rock? What do you want?
Just give me any.
We can do Slipknot. We can do Metallica. Was more like 80s, but that was big. Eminem was big when I was a kid.
Can you name?
Snoop Dogg was big when I was a kid. 50 Cent.
Can you name one? Can you name one Slipknot song?
Pulse of the Maggots.
That sounds like the name of a Slipknot song. I believe you. I believe you. Go ahead. Tell us why you support.
I'm 34, bro. I just turned 34 in July.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. I do. Go ahead.
So, I support Trump. He's all for crypto. I'm all for crypto. He's going to pump the shit out of the stock market, pump the shit out of the crypto market. He gave all of us an opportunity to buy in to stocks and crypto. Like, he put it all on sale for us to buy. And the Democrats complained about it.
Are you talking about...
Look, you guys have the government shut down. You guys have the government shut down because you guys have, a bunch of bullshit. You guys want to pass a bunch of trash.
Oh, yeah.
$200 billion for immigrants to get healthcare is a joke.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that is a joke.
So, do you know what the Personal Work Order and Responsibility Act is?
I do not.
Of course you don't, because you're fucking uneducated, Victor. Usually, for whatever reason, the most uneducated people have the biggest feelings in American politics. But to tell you...
The most educated people are the most indoctrinated people. Okay. That's why you guys are all Democrats.
So you think that the most educated people are Democrats?
That is true. The most educated people are Democrats.
Dude.
You guys are all indoctrinated. Keep laughing. It's the truth.
Wait, indoctrinated
you guys are all indoctrinated.
Indoctrinated into facts, reason, and logic?
No, indoctrinated into the school system's bullshit.
Dude, the school system's bullshit. Okay. Let me tell you something I learned in school, and then I want you to critique it. So last week, okay, I was sitting down in my big liberal class, okay, at CU Boulder. That's right. One of the most liberal campuses on America, okay? Democratic stronghold, okay? And the professor looked at me and he told me, right, that Donald Trump is an unprecedented threat to the American democracy and the American Constitution, and he argued that it's because Donald Trump doesn't care about the Constitution and wants to be a all-powerful leader that rewrites the rules compared to a president that plays by him. Okay, and the evidence that the professor gave me was damning. Okay, and this is the evidence that I want you to dispute. He brought up the fact, right, that in December of 2022, Donald Trump went on Truth Social and he said, well, we should terminate all the rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Real quote, by the way. And then on day one, he passed Executive Order number 14160 that infringed on the 14th Amendment, attempted to take birthright citizenship away from the children of undocumented immigrants born on American soil, even though they've had that right since 1868. Or, like a month ago, when he said that, quote unquote, we're taking your free speech away, when he tried to ban the burning of the American flag, even though the Supreme Court ruled that was protected under symbolic speech per the First Amendment in the 1980s. Or when he was saying that there's ways he could run for a third term. That is an express attack on the 22nd Amendment, considering the fact that the 22nd Amendment says any president can only serve 2 terms. Or when he was declaring war on American cities, once again, that's what he said, and he sent the National Guard to cities like Memphis, Chicago, Portland, so on and so forth. And then we had multiple federal judges rule that this was illegal because he was doing so without sufficient reason, therefore being in violation of the 10th Amendment. And he was on Air Force One last week, and he said, well, if he wanted to, he could declare an insurrection, right? Unlike the insurrection that he caused in the Capitol on J6, but I digress, that he could declare an insurrection and he could send the Marines, the Army, the Navy, the Coast Guard, and so on and so forth into American cities, and nobody could stop him, including the courts. Don't you think that this would amount, right, to a wannabe authoritarian?
I don't think so at all.
Because I'm indoctrinated and you're the reasonable, smart one, okay? You're the one that knows the real facts. Go ahead and dispute my fake facts by giving me the real facts.
I can see reality. I can see reality. What I would say is you guys using the Civil Rights Act for the whole trans, stuff, and then pushing the whole trans narrative in children's classrooms. In children's classrooms.
No, because I'm laughing so hard. Brother, I just gave you an argument that Donald Trump is a threat to the American democracy and the Constitution, right? And I brought up how he's launched an attack on the First Amendment, launched an attack on the 14th Amendment, the 10th Amendment, and the 22nd Amendment, and then you're like, oh, Dean, you're so wrong and indoctrinated.
Because it's common sense.
And then your counter argument is bringing up trans people?
No, because you're trying to say that what he's doing is a joke. You're saying he's breaking all these amendments, but it's common sense that he has to. We have mass immigration. Obviously, he needs to send the National Guard into those cities. That makes 100% sense. Yes.
How is the National Guard combating, quote unquote, mass immigration in these cities?
Because you're saying that he's sending the troops to the cities, right?
Yeah. And what does it have to do with immigration?
Because he was sending a lot of ICE agents, right?
ICE is not National Guard. Right? You just said because of mass immigration, he's sending the National Guard into these cities.
Oh, my bad. He's sending the ICE agents.
Oh.
That was a big thing that you guys were complaining
so then
about.
you're definitely not responding to what my argument was.
Okay. No, and I agree that those cities
and by the way,
have the high violent crimes.
What you just said, by the way, is that it's okay for Donald Trump to infringe on the supreme law of the land, the Constitution. So therefore, right, it's okay for somebody to infringe on a federal misdemeanor crime by entering into America with the use of undocumented means, right? Obviously, right, the Constitution is more valuable than a federal misdemeanor.
That's a illegal crime.
Right, just like it's illegal for Trump to infringe on the Constitution, but you don't care, so why should I?
So you're saying people should just come in here just come to America?
Well, I'm saying if you don't care about the president infringing on the Constitution, then why should I care about an immigrant infringing on federal law? It's hypocritical for you to suggest that it's like rules for thee but not for me. Right? It's hypocritical for you to suggest that you're like pro law and order in one sense, but then against law and order in another sense. It's hypocritical for you to suggest that we need to absolutely destroy the American economy, that we need to kidnap naked children and force them into the backs of U-Haul vans, reduce our GDP by 1.1 through 1.7 trillion dollars per year. Meanwhile, you don't care that Donald Trump is a 34-count felon, and you don't care that he's infringed on the Constitution 5 times in the last 8 months. That is hypocrisy 101. And let me guess, instead of actually addressing the meat on the bone here, instead of actually responding to the argument that I'm giving you, you're just going to say, but trans people again.
No, I'm not going to say about trans people again. I'm saying that everything he's doing is good for the country.
Yeah, so then it's good to break the law.
You got a vape or what?
Nope, it's an anxiety pin, buddy. So then you're saying it's good to break the law, right? Because he's broken the law.
Oh man, that's a good discussion. No, it's not okay. It's not okay to break the law.
Okay, so if it's not good to break the law, then it's not true that everything that Donald Trump is doing is good for the country. Considering a lot of the things that he's done have been illegal, right? Like for the most part, the constitutional infringements that I just like listed.
Yeah, I understand, but you got to understand when the Constitution was written, it was a completely different time. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you guys using the Civil Rights Act for the whole trans thing, right? It makes no sense, but you guys did it.
Right? So I was actually right in the sense where I finished an argument there to demonstrate your hypocrisy, and then I was like, so you're actually not going to respond to what I'm saying, and you're just going to go butt trans people, and you did.
No.
And you did. You did the thing. You did Dean, I actually cannot respond to the argument that you just gave me that proves I'm a hypocrite, so I'm just going to talk about trans people.
No, because it just backfires to the argument. You're saying he's doing this, and I gave you a valid reason as to why they're a joke.
What? Wait. So you're saying that you think a counter argument to me being able to point out your hypocrisy by saying in one breath that it's actually good for the president to violate the Constitution, yet in another breath,
yes, it is. Yes.
Yet in another breath,
because we're in a completely different time than when the Constitution was written.
Okay.
Completely different time. We got mass immigration.
So the Constitution is what? A living, breathing document.
Yes.
Do you think that you have a right to free speech?
I have a right to free speech. I'm in America.
And what gives you that right to free speech, Victor?
The right to free speech.
What gives you that right?
My rights.
Where does that right come from? Why do you have that right in America?
From the Constitution.
Oh, but I thought you just said the Constitution is from a completely different era and you don't really care about it.
I never said that. When did I ever say that?
It's what you just said.
I'm saying
that the Constitution was written so long ago that you think it's like good to infringe on it. So would it be like good to take away your freedom of speech?
Whoa. Who's saying all that? I'm saying that you can't.
Is this guy fucking gaslighting me right now?
No, you can't fully go with the
this motherfucker's gaslighting me.
I'm not gaslighting you at all.
You were totally gaslighting me.
I am not gaslighting you whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry that you feel like I'm gaslighting you. Do you feel like you're getting roasted or something, my man?
I feel like you're trying to gaslight me. You're trying to gaslight me.
I'm not trying to gaslight whatsoever, my man.
Well, then take accountability for the fact that you said that you don't care about the Constitution. You think it's good for the president to infringe.
I never once said that. I just said that.
Yeah. Okay. Then you are gaslighting. Okay, you understand that? You understand that there's people like watching this conversation, right? You understand that there's people that can account for the fact that you did indeed say that you do not care that Donald Trump is infringing on the Constitution. In fact, you think it is quote unquote good.
Yeah, it's good because the Constitution was written. What?
No,
what are you slapping the table for, my man? Hit the anxiety pin. You feeling good, my man?
So he's repeating it.
I'm not repeating. I never said what you said. I said that we're in modern days, and there is parts of the Constitution that have to be broken in order to get things done.
Okay, so what parts?
I mean, the parts that you explained.
So which ones?
No, the immigrants should not be able to come over here and have kids. That's crazy.
Immigrants shouldn't be able to have kids in America? Then Donald Trump wouldn't have been born.
I mean, legal immigrants.
Yeah, Donald Trump's mother was an immigrant. You fucking dumbass.
So are my parents. Both of my parents.
So then you should have been. So you should have been born.
Legal immigrants. My man.
Undocumented immigrants shouldn't be able to have kids on American soil.
There you go. People should not come over here and just be able to have kids. That's common sense.
Yes, no. Let's. So,
I mean,
would you argue?
Wait.
Would you argue, just to make it clear here? Would you like say that like there should be like free and easy access to abortion all 9 months of pregnancy in all 50 states to like limit the? Wait, wouldn't that prevent immigrants from having kids?
Wait, what?
Oh! Now there's a conflict.
That makes no sense.
Now there's a conflict. Oh, on one hand you have racism. On the other hand you have misogyny. Oh, it's like what happens when the racism and the misogyny start contradicting one another? You're like, man, immigrants shouldn't be able to have kids, right? Okay. Well, I mean, we know when like individuals have access to abortion, right? They're more likely to terminate unwanted pregnancies, therefore less likely to like have children, right? Just because of like the natural propensity that
or they
children are going to be
come to
unwanted.
the country illegally.
And then like on the other hand, you got your misogyny where you're like, women having access to healthcare? No. So, you know, it's like, how do we consolidate? How do we figure out this issue? Do you want to be racist and say that immigrants shouldn't have kids, or do you want to be misogynistic and say women should have access to healthcare? Which one?
They shouldn't be here in the first place. That's it.
Okay, so
common sense, right?
So you support mass deportation?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, well, since you're such like an in tune with reality, common sense guy, I want you to name one specific, clear way that mass deportation materially benefits this country.
I mean, tons of them are getting healthcare, right?
Undocumented immigrants don't get healthcare from the federal level. That's not true. It's illegal. The undocumented immigrants can't qualify for federal Medicaid, can't qualify for federal Medicare, but they actually do pay $100 billion per year in taxes and contribute $1.1 through $1.7 trillion to the GDP.
So you're telling me that the Speaker of the House was lying when he said that $290 billion for healthcare for illegal immigrants? So that guy was lying, right?
Oh, totally. Unless you want to be able to give evidence that he was telling the truth.
So you're telling me that I should believe you, but I shouldn't believe when the Speaker of the House is up there telling me that you guys want to give free healthcare to illegal immigrants, that you guys want to, fund LGBT whole narrative bullshit in other countries. That's a joke, man.
I'm telling you.
You're gonna sit here and try and convince me that that's not a joke?
I'm telling you that you should believe the facts. If you like go on Google and you type in the Personal Work Order and Responsibility Act of 1996, okay, you could read legislation that was passed by both chambers of Congress and signed into law that strictly limits and prevents, right, non-residents and non-citizens from accessing federal forms of welfare benefits, including but not limited to healthcare of the likes of Medicaid or Medicare. Okay, I'm not telling you to believe me over him. I'm telling you to believe the facts over fiction.
So yeah, you're saying that you're speaking facts, and he's just up there saying these lies that we're not given.
Yes, and I just gave evidence to prove it.
Where's the evidence at?
The Personal Work Order and Responsibility Act that limits federal welfare benefits from being given to undocumented immigrants.
Because he said the government was shut on 6 votes from the Democrats, right? But the Democrats don't want to approve those votes because they want to give $290 billion towards immigrant health care, and they want to give, it's like millions and millions of dollars for whole, LGBT gender ideology, bullshit in other countries. And
yeah, just say LGBTQ plus trans, and like everybody will be scared, right? Is that the goal? Come on, bro, dude, fucking listen to yourself, dude. Okay, look at what I'm saying. I'm like, hey, just listen, Victor. Listen to Dean.
This is what they said up there, though.
Victor, if you listen,
this is what the House said.
Victor, if you listen to Dean will say, well, hey, listen, undocumented immigrants cannot access nor qualify for federal systems of welfare benefits, including but not limited to Medicaid and Medicare, because we have about 4 or 5 different laws on the books that strictly prevent it. One of those laws, most notably being the Personal Work Order and Responsibility Act of 1996, which strictly limits those benefits to only be given to legal residents and lawful citizens. Okay? Obviously, undocumented immigrants are not residents nor citizens. Therefore, they're ineligible, legally speaking, in order to qualify for those benefits. All right. So, of course, when you hear Mr. Trump's puppet, right? Trump, the guy that lied 30,000 times confirmed in his first term. Trump, the guy that lied and told the largest lie that any sitting president has ever told with his denial of the outcome of the 2020 election. And then his puppet, Mike Johnson, that is currently breaking the law, right? Obstructing the swearing in of Adelita Grahova, who is, who's pledged to be the last and final vote to force the release of the Epstein files, right? And you listen to him contradict the laws on the books. You listen to him contradict what we know about reality, and you listen to him say nonsense, which, by the way, you can't find any evidence for. It becomes incredibly clear to any rational mind that I'm right and he's wrong. Now, you could prove that he's right and I'm wrong by merely disputing my argument, which is the fact that there's laws on the books that prevent Medicaid and Medicare from being given to undocumented immigrants, and proving with the use of evidence that the Democrats will have and want to spend $200 billion on undocumented immigrants.
So you're telling me that that's a lie? That's crazy to me. I understand that you said those laws and all that, but to me that has been
give evidence for
whole
Johnson's
argument. And hold on, I haven't heard any Democrats speaking about it other than people like you on TikTok.
Do you want to give evidence for his claim, or do you want to give evidence against mine? Because we're rational people here, Victor. We discuss things with evidence.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay, so what's the evidence that we want to give like $200 billion to undocumented immigrants for healthcare? What's the evidence that like I'm wrong when I say that that's illegal per the Personal Work Order and Responsibility Act? What's the evidence, buddy?
Well, I'm not saying I have evidence. What I said was that's what he said, and why I should believe you over him.
Okay, so you don't have any evidence.
So you're gonna tell me?
So I just want to clarify. What you're saying is that you don't have any evidence to believe that he's telling the truth.
I haven't looked into it. No.
Okay, so the answer
because it's the party of common sense. If you think about it.
So why do you believe him without any evidence? Are you just saying that you blindly believe anything a Republican says?
No, because everything Democrats say isn't real.
Okay, well, I didn't ask you about Democrats. I asked you about Republicans. Do you blindly believe anything a Republican tells you?
Not anything, but I do believe that Democrats would do that because that is something that they would do.
Okay, so you're saying that you believe
like
it
100%. That's something that they would do.
So you believe it without evidence, right? I have a question.
Well, I know here in my state, California, they do receive free health care.
If you accept such a low standard of evidence, the standard of evidence that you accept being no evidence, as you said, you blindly follow and believe anything that MAGA says. Do you therefore also accept that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll because there was enough evidence to convince a court?
I don't believe that. I mean, you're talking about $1 million man going after something like that. That's a joke.
Yeah. So
I mean, $1 billion man. My bad. $1 billion man.
When there's enough,
he had women throwing themselves at him, and he's gonna go after something like that. That's a joke.
So when there's enough evidence to convince a court and a unanimous jury of 9, you don't believe it. But when there's no evidence at all, per your own admission, you do believe it. See, I think that you're a casebook example of bias, okay? And tribalism in politics and dogmatism too, okay? Wow, you're a textbook example, okay? We learn about people like you, right, in social and political philosophy courses in college, okay? It's interesting because what you're telling me, right, is that when a claim is made that disputes the side you disagree with and confirms that the side you agree with are the ones on the right side of history, are the true and accurate, the common sense people, right? Then you accept it with no evidence and you blindly follow it. But when it disputes the party that you believe in, right, and reaffirms a party that you don't believe in, right, such as the court that found Donald Trump guilty of raping E. Jean Carroll, then you don't believe it even though there's an insurmountable amount of evidence. Do you see the issue there? Do you see how that's obviously bias, Victor? While he ponders on that one, Stacy, thank you so much for the $13 over on PayPal. Stacy says, I'm a 57-year-old grandma from a small town in West Texas. Let me go and read her message here. And I appreciate your voice. Thank you. Well, thank you, Stacy. Chat, show some love to Stacy down below, as well as Nathan with a 5 over on PayPal. Thank you, Nathan. And then Jessica, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo, who says, I love you. You're such a great person. I'm happy to have somebody that educates me and helps me become a better person as well. Keep going. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jessica. That is so fucking kind. And then Allie, thank you so much for the $20 as well over on Venmo. Thank you so much, Allie. Show some love to Allie, show some love to Jessica, and show some love to Stacy. If you're watching and you want to support me, you want to support what we do here, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok and in the pinned message of the YouTube stream. In fact, Victor, could I get a big W from you for those 3 donors? I think I broke Victor's.
Let's go, hell yeah, donate.
All right, dude, W. Now, do you want to respond to like my last common sense argument that clearly like described and pointed out your bias?
I mean, put it this way. I'm going to say reality, right? I'm going to explain reality to you. But I'm from California, so I know things are different in California. But California is Democrat-ran state. Gavin Newsom.
Yes, saying Gavin Newsom definitely addresses
3 years
argument.
ago, I was working, immigrant job.
I think he's leaving now. I wouldn't doubt it if he just left. Oh, he's back. Victor's not done. Victor? He's broken. We broke Victor. We actually broke Victor. Victor's like actually fucking broken right now. This is great. I have a question, Victor. Is your wife an undocumented immigrant? I think I broke his brain. He can't even like engage in like simple dialogue. Anyways, Jessica, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. He says Victor's the same guy who's been on lives talking about how his wife is undocumented and complaining about state subsidies he and his family benefit from. Huh. Well, yeah, his brain imploded and he left. So we're gonna move on to the next guest. Let's go ahead and keep imploding the brains of Trump supporters. I guess moving on right now, folks. We're gonna get that next guest loaded up in here right now, everybody. All right, we're going to get that next guest loaded up in here right now. We got Big Meech connecting to the stream. Here we go. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump?
I don't support him, but I liked him more than Kamala, and I voted for him, so let's go with it.
Okay. So just to clarify everything, knowing everything that you do now about Donald Trump's last 10 months, if you were teleported back to November, would you still vote for him?
Unfortunately, yes. I figured he was the better of two evils.
So then go ahead and give me an argument that if Kamala Harris was president right now, America would be worse off. Let's hear it.
Oh, where do we begin? Okay. Well, I'm a very much a big supporter of the Constitution. I think that's one of the best things about the United States. You can scoff at that. That's fine. I mean, I've lived in several countries. I think that the Constitution is one of the few things America has that is an amazing thing that puts it above a lot of other countries, right? And
what's your favorite constitutional right?
Oh, I mean, it's hard to pick. Right to an attorney, right to bear arms, free speech, free expression.
Free speech?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, First Amendment is definitely one of the
right to an attorney, right to bear arms, and free speech. So a right to an attorney would be like an integral part of due process. Donald Trump has been deporting undocumented immigrants without due process. In fact, we've even had federal judges rule that they have probable cause to hold him in contempt for doing so, as well as we saw SCOTUS rule in late April that he has to stop deporting Venezuelan immigrants in northern Texas because he was doing so without any due process. So he's infringed on that. The second thing that you said is right to bear arms. Well, I think like a month and a half ago, he directed his DOJ to try to find a way to ban any and all gun ownership for law-abiding trans American citizens. That's so blatantly anti-2A that even the far-right NRA has publicly spoken out against him and his administration for trying to do so. And then your third reason, their free speech. I mean, fuck, man. He said that we're, quote unquote, taking your free speech away when he tried to illegally ban the burning of the American flag. And he also said it's now illegal to criticize him in the media, which is also a blatant and obvious infringement on free speech. So, hey, I don't know. You said that you like the Constitution. I asked you what your favorite constitutional rights are. Donald Trump presents a threat to every single one of them.
So I will say, in regards to the Second Amendment and the First, I agree with you completely. I think trans people should be able to bear arms, just like any other American, of course. I think in regards to free speech, I think that you should be able to burn the American flag. I'm not going to lie, it pisses me off. I don't like seeing people burn the American flag. It's like, why are you burning the flag for this country you're living in? But you have the right to do it. I'm in full agreement with you with those two. Now, where I wouldn't say I disagree, but I do want to have a dialogue about this, is you were talking about the Fifth Amendment, and you were talking about people that are here illegally being deported, right? Now, the question is, do the constitutional rights apply to people who are not American citizens? What are your thoughts on that? I'm curious.
Yes, individuals that aren't citizens have many constitutional rights, and that's guaranteed to them by the third section of the 14th Amendment, which would be the Equal Protections Clause, which ensures that regardless of who you are, if you're in this country, you're equally protected just as everybody else is, unless there's good reason to take away some protections. Undocumented immigrants have due process. SCOTUS has adjudicated that. Undocumented immigrants, more so their children born on American soil, have birthright citizenship. SCOTUS has adjudicated that. Undocumented immigrants have equal protection. SCOTUS adjudicated that in 1989, and these are facts.
So I'm not trying to get into hypotheticals because I feel like it's very easy for political debates to kind of devolve into craziness by doing that. However, seeing as you are, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, you believe that everybody has a right to be here within reason. If somebody comes to this country for a better life, that's okay, correct?
Okay, well, now you're completely changing the conversation to do I support mass deportation? Complete pivot.
No, I wouldn't say support mass deportation, more that if somebody migrates here for a better life, do you believe that's okay?
I think that we should give undocumented immigrants a pathway to residency or citizenship and not remove them from the country. This is a complete separate and decoupled conversation from the one that I would like to have with you, which is the fact that you said you love the Constitution. I asked you to name your top 3 favorite constitutional rights, and then I demonstrated how Donald Trump is infringed on all 3 of them. How could you possibly sit up here and tell me that you're a constitutionalist that's pro-Trump while also acknowledging that Donald Trump purports not just a threat to the Constitution as a whole, but the threat to the amendments in which you hold closest to your heart?
Well, I never said I was very pro-Trump. He actually pissed me off a lot. I said that.
But obviously, I don't think that Kamala Harris would have infringed on the Constitution. So if you're a constitutionalist, you're going to take the candidate that's like more pro-Constitution. Yeah, of course. Of course, I think that the lawyer's more pro-law and order, more pro-Constitution than the felon.
Let's see. I mean, she did claim that she was going to do away with the right to bear arms. Now, I can't give you the exact verbiage.
That's not true. She didn't say that. Don't say that. Because that's not true.
Did she not say that she was going to take a more harsh approach to the right to bear arms? Yes or no?
She said
I know that you know more than I do. You research this stuff a lot.
She said that she supports gun control. That's all. Constitutional gun control.
Right, but let me ask you, like, at what point, like, what does that entail exactly? It's kind of like the mindset of, like, when people say, oh, we want common sense gun reform. That sounds nice in theory. What does that actually entail, though? And the ways
it would actually be your argument to demonstrate what exactly her gun control policy would have entailed than to demonstrate how it's unconstitutional. But even if you could demonstrate that Kamala Harris was a threat to the Second Amendment, right, this actually still leaves Kamala Harris as the more pro-constitutional candidate, considering the fact that you've already agreed that Donald Trump is a threat to the Second Amendment and the First and the 14th and the 22nd and the 5th.
To be fair, Dean, you could pick any president in the past couple of decades. I can pick apart certain little actions they performed that were quote unquote unconstitutional. I mean, let's be real. This isn't a partisan thing.
It's more than just doing things that are unconstitutional unknowingly than being checked by the checks and balances. It's belligerently doing things that are intentionally unconstitutional and not caring about the checks and balances. Okay? That's what Donald Trump is. Okay? Right? He's either an absolute idiot and doesn't know that the First Amendment protects people's ability to criticize him, or he's belligerently and intentionally trying to end the First Amendment. He's either an absolute idiot and doesn't know that the children of undocumented immigrants born on American soil have a right to birthright citizenship per the clear text of the 14th Amendment, or he's infringing on the 14th Amendment knowingly. He's either an absolute idiot, like literally absolute idiot, and doesn't know that undocumented immigrants have due process, or he's intentionally infringing on their constitutional rights. He's an absolute idiot, or he doesn't know, right, that the Second Amendment, yes, does indeed protect the right to bear at least some arms, right, for law-abiding American citizens, or he's intentionally trying to thwart that when he's directing his DOJ to attempt to find a way to ban any and all gun ownership, right, for law-abiding trans-American citizens. And obviously, right, because you take Trump over Kamala Harris, you're not going to sit here and tell us that Donald Trump has the education and civics of a third grader. Thereby, you'd have to accept and concede that he's intentionally launched an attack on these things.
Well, here's the thing. Like, would you say it is a full-on attack? Like, and let me elaborate on that. With the whole the argument about restricting trans Americans from bearing arms, right? I know they have talked about it. Perhaps some states are a little more radical in their right policies, let's put it that way, have even proposed bills for it. However, has there been anything that has legitimately had a shot of actually going into motion, being written on paper and being a thing of removing, like restricting trans Americans of their rights in that sense, for that specifically, like adult trans Americans of their right to bear arms?
No, because it's unconstitutional.
Okay, so in which case...
Which proves my point. This proves my point that when Donald Trump directs his DOJ to find a way to get it done, that he's directing them to do something that is belligerently and obviously unconstitutional. Thank you so much for proving my point, man.
But Dean, can I... Okay, let me... Like, say there's another candidate, right? Totally different political ideology. If I were to say, oh, they believe this, they want this, and it's something that, let's say the general American says, oh, that's a bad thing. But I say, oh, they want this. But it's not being put into motion. It's not actually happening.
Yes, the motion started when he gave his DOJ to find a way.
Right, but...
That was when it was put into motion. Oh my God.
What's up?
That's not just rhetoric, okay? That's not just him standing at a podium and saying that he wants it done. That was a directive to the Department of Justice.
I don't know. I guess the way I'm looking at it is more so like...
Right, and that's not the only thing that he's done that's unconstitutional, right? Like, do you remember his attempted coup of the 2020 election? Do you remember when he tried to steal that from Joe Biden, arguing that they stole it first, and then he sent the fake slates of electorates to 7 different key swing states with votes saying that their states actually voted for Trump when in all reality they voted for Biden, and then he told them to send those fake votes back to Congress to install himself for a second term against the voice and the vote of the people, right? Oh yeah, how is that for an unconstitutional anti-American directive of action?
I mean, I will say, man, you're going to love this because it's going to be good for your engagement, I suppose. But listen, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, yeah, they stole it from him. I will say I think he handled that extremely poorly.
It's not just extremely poorly. It's anti-American. It's not just extremely poorly. It's something in which contradicts the values that you said you hold near and dear.
I'm for democracy. You know, people voted.
And by the way, you're also contradicting yourself on another notion, right? Because when I brought up Donald Trump's directive to the DOJ to find a way to ban any and all gun ownership for trans Americans, you said that you don't take any issue with it because it's just words. Okay, so what more? What's something more
with it in the sense that he's not actually doing that.
So then, what's something more than just words that Kamala Harris did to infringe on the Second Amendment, per your suggestion?
You got a good point in that. However,
right, exactly. You're contradicting your own logic. You're contradicting your own logic.
Yeah, but she didn't get elected. That's the difference.
She lost the election because stupid people like you voted for Trump, even though he stands against the values that you hold near and dear. The first thing that you said when you joined up was that you care about the Constitution, but somehow you still support Trump as president, even though he's infringed on the First Amendment. You still support Trump as president, even though he's infringed on the Fifth Amendment. You still support Trump as president, even though he's infringed on the 14th Amendment. You still support Trump as president, even though he's called for the termination of the 22nd Amendment. You still support Trump as president, even though he's infringed on the 10th Amendment. You still support Trump as president, even though in December of 2022, he called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. You still support Trump as president, even though in 2020, he tried to coup and rig the outcome of a presidential election by arguing that he should be able to steal it, and he should be immune from any and all criminal repercussions since he was president when he tried to steal it, right? Like, you understand that it's just such an insane view. There's absolutely nothing that you can say except, I see, Dean, I concede, you're right and I'm wrong, that is going to make any reasonable nor rational sense insofar as how you can consolidate those two things.
All right. Well, first off, I'm going to say you started off with something I didn't say. You put words in my mouth. Second, please don't be condescending. I have not been rude to you, and you called me stupid. I don't like that. I don't think I'm stupid.
Listen, man, I'm so sorry. I have to be able to like be honest, okay? Right? And your thought process here is stupid. I'm sorry, that's a fact, right? It is stupid to say that you're pro-Constitution. Don't
call me stupid. I disagree with you.
I'm sorry. I'm okay. The tone policing is just something I'm not going to bend the knee to. I legitimately believe, and I will stand 10 toes down on the idea that is absolutely idiotic, right, to call yourself pro-Constitution and then to support Trump as president in consideration of everything that I just said that he has done, intentionally so, that is either infringed on the Constitution or presented a potential infringement if he gets his way.
Right, but Dean, and I'm not trying to I hope this doesn't mess with your advertising or your promotion, the monetary, the money you're getting from this, essentially, because I'm going to curse, but I don't think that, I'm not saying that Trump is like God's gift to the earth. I'm not one of those MAGA people. I'm saying that my subjective opinion is that I believe that while I don't like him, I think that he was ever so slightly the better choice than Kamala.
Okay, how is Kamala Harris more anti-Constitution than Donald Trump?
Where do I begin? Okay, like I said, she was vocally anti-Second Amendment. Now Trump, he behaves that way. He wasn't vocally. He is anti-Second Amendment. I'm actually with you with that. Maybe not tremendously.
Okay, so
I agree with you.
I don't even need to give you a counter argument against this point then, since you think both candidates are anti-2A. Just scratch that one. Now you have to demonstrate how she's more anti-Constitution than Trump by pointing out some difference that makes her worse.
Well, hold on. You're very much pigeonholing me into the constitutional thing, and I do.
Right, I am. Explain to me how you think that Kamala Harris is more anti-Constitution than Trump. Let's hear it. What's the argument?
I guess I wasn't going to go with that argument. I was going to go more with qualifications. However, I could make the same argument about Trump. Really, I mean.
So do you have an argument?
I suppose I don't. I mean, I could, but you know.
Okay, so if you care about the Constitution and you can't argue against the notion that Donald Trump is a larger threat to the Constitution than Kamala Harris, what does that tell you?
Right, but the thing is, he's a larger threat because he actually got elected. Perhaps if she got elected, she would have been a larger threat.
Then give an argument.
We'll never know. And as
that's a non-falsifiable hypothesis that you cannot prove that we have reason to dispute.
Sure, it's subjective.
Okay, no, it's not subjective. It is once again a non-falsifiable hypothesis that you can't prove, right? That we have reason to dispute. Okay, I could have told you before the election that Donald Trump was against the Constitution because of what he's done in his life of, breaking the law and not caring, raping women and not caring, inciting an insurrection on the Capitol and not caring, or just calling for the termination of the Constitution in December of 2022. Yet you cannot give any reason for this hypothesis, thereby making it non-falsifiable by nature, thereby amounting to nothing more than a conspiracy theory.
Hold on, Dean. You're telling me it's non-falsifiable. You're literally telling me it's false right now and giving me your reasoning to it, which is fine. You don't have to agree with it. But it's falsifiable. I said it's purely subjective. I didn't say it's subjective reality. I believe that's the case.
Okay, so then give any reason for me to find that to be true. And you were right. You were right about me calling it non-falsifiable than falsifying it. I guess I doubted my own abilities.
You disagree with me and you give me your reason.
I doubted my own abilities. I said that your hypothesis was non-falsifiable. It actually isn't. It is falsifiable, and I just did.
Yeah, I mean, I also did say it's subjective. I wasn't trying to make it out like it's
right. So could you give me absolutely any reason to believe that Kamala Harris would have been like a larger threat to the Constitution if she was elected? Let's hear it. Any reason?
Well, let me ask you this. I'll give you one reason. It's not really maybe the best answer to this question, but I'm kind of curious to hear your thoughts on this. Say what you will about Trump. I don't like how he talks. He's very undiplomatic, and that's not becoming of a president, especially of the United States of America, right? However, and you have to give him this. You might not like what he says. The man says his mind. And that works out pretty badly a lot of the times. He just says
you're not answering my question, man. This is getting pretty
wait. I'll get to it, right? Kamala Harris would get softball questions from the mainstream media, and she wouldn't be able to answer very basic softball questions. Now, that doesn't mean she can't be a good president.
Yeah,
however,
I disagree with you, but this is a pivot.
I wouldn't say so. I think this is a very bare minimum requirement of somebody that's going to be leading one of the most powerful countries on the planet.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. You're trying to make that argument, but guess what? It's a pivot, right? Like, let's go one point at a time. You're the one that said that you're pro-Constitution. Listen, man. Bottom line is you don't care about the Constitution, right? You don't care about core American values. You don't care about the future of this country. So stop saying you do, okay? And if you want to continue to say that you do, and you want to try to stand 10 toes down on the notion that you are a constitutionalist, then you are going to have to give some type of cogent explanation insofar as why you support, as a constitutionalist, the largest threat to the Constitution in modern American history as the president of the United States of America, okay? And you can't do that. So stop saying you're a constitutionalist. Yes, here's the thing.
Hold on.
You're going to say something completely unrelated and not respond to what I said. Go ahead.
Listen, let me ask you a question. And it is relevant. And, well, I guess it's not, because you want me to just answer specifically in this specific question you're asking me. You want me to answer exactly that. However, do you believe it's a partisan thing? Like, do you think this is a Republican thing, or do you think this is a Donald Trump thing? I am actually genuinely curious what you think on that.
Got it. Well,
the
Republicans are the ones that champion him. So I think him and his administration and the Republicans in Congress and those that support them all bear some culpability. Now, please answer the question. While he's on pause doing something, I'm going to go to thank a couple people here. Let's see. Benjamin, thank you so much for the $50 donation over on PayPal. Holy shit, Benjamin. Benjamin with a $50 says, hey, Dean, just an FYI, I absolutely never give my money away, my hard-earned money away, but I'm going to have to make an exception for you. It's awesome how you put these Trump supporters in their place. Keep rocking and rolling, bro. Dude, Mr. Benjamin, that is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much for your support, man. All the fucking love in the world to you. Thank you so much for your kindness and your generosity. I want to see 500 Ben W's down below in that chat. Seriously, Ben, thank you about 1 billion times over. You're fucking epic. As well as Jeremy, thank you for the $2 on PayPal, and Daniel with a 5. You're awesome. And then Nick, that is NIK, thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo, who says, hey, Dean, I'm considering sitting down and having a talk with my hardcore MAGA dad. I just want to sit down and fact check everything. Nick, the rest of your message just completely disappeared. Let me try to find it real quick. By the way, that guest just left. Dude, by the way, second guest in a row that's just up and dipped. All right? See you later, my friend. Let's go to get that next guest up in here. Let's go to get Kim loaded up. And while Kim is loaded in, I want to finish Nick's message here. Nick says, I just want to sit down and fact check everything with him. Have you been having conversations like this with your parents? And do you have any advice? Facts don't really matter to him. Well, I mean, if you know that facts don't really matter to him, then it's probably not going to be a productive dialogue. But I mean, hey, what's the harm in trying? And that's not a metaphorical question, it is a literal one. Do the evaluation of what the potential repercussions could be to you if you were to sit down and to try to have that conversation with him. And then also, Ali, what's up, man? Give me a second here. Ali, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. Thank you, Ali. Fuck yeah. Ali with the $20 says, as somebody who's originally from Shreveport, where Speaker Mike Johnson is from, I can say fully with my chest that you should never believe what he says. Yeah, Mike Johnson is a big is a fucking liar. Thank you so much for the $20, Ali. Show some love to Ali down below, as well as Jessica. Thank you for the $10 on Venmo. And Christopher, thank you so much for the $10 as well on Venmo. Huge shout out to Christopher down below. And then let's see here. Patrick, thank you for the $20 on Venmo, who says, thank you for doing what you do in the fight to defend our Constitution. Listen, in the fight to defend the future of this country and everybody in it, because Donald Trump and his electoral power, his presidency, just purports such a large, unprecedented threat. Then two more people I'd like to thank here. Fucking Miss Coral, thank you so much for the $50 super chat on YouTube, dude. I want to see 500 Coral W's down below. Coral, thank you so much for your kindness. Coral says the fact that he tried to infringe on these rights is what makes him a wannabe dictator. That's what makes him authoritarian. That's a freaking problem that these idiots don't understand. I couldn't agree more, Coral. Show some love to Coral, and it's good to see you again. And then let's also get 200 Felicia W's with the 20 Canadian dollars on super chat. Thank you. Felicia says hello from Canada. Love your debates and really enjoy listening to you put MAGA in their place. Well, I appreciate you so much for that love, Felicia. I'm happy that you enjoy the stream. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the $20. If you are watching, regardless if you are one of the 6.8 thousand people with us on TikTok or one of the 3.4 thousand people with us on YouTube, and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. You could also find them in the pinned message on the YouTube stream. I get 100% of the proceeds through those platforms, and you get a notification on the top of this phone where I could read out your name, the amount, and any and all attached messages. I really appreciate you guys for the love. But welcome in, Seth. Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
And how old are you?
I'm 19.
Can I get a W Marlene from you?
W Marlene.
For the $10 on Venmo. Appreciate you for that love,
Yes,
Marlene.
sir.
Go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you
Also,
support Trump.
W the person that's in the galaxy.
Oh, hell yeah. W. So why are you MAGA?
I personally support everything he's doing. Or not everything, but mostly just the getting rid of the ice that's in the... Or getting rid of... Not getting rid of
Yeah,
ice.
getting rid of ice?
Getting rid of...
Wow.
No. Sorry. Getting rid of the illegals in the country, and also the things he's supporting for getting rid of people that have able bodies that have...
Miguel, thank you so much.
On
Galaxy, appreciate that.
that have been on government aid for the longest time. I hate the people that are on government aid, that have able bodies, that can work, that are 18 to 56. That's the age range that he's trying to get to work. And actually, if you are able-bodied and...
Are you Christian?
I am.
So then why do you hate people?
I don't hate people.
You just said that you do.
Sorry. I didn't mean it, but I'm a little intoxicated. I won't lie. I'm just slightly intoxicated. But
I'm sorry, Seth. I'm gonna kick you. I'm sorry, man. Listen, talking to sober Trump supporters is already enough. I don't know if I could talk to one that's drunk. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in here, Seth. Hey, have a good rest of your night. Have fun. Come back tomorrow. I'm live every day. Come back. We'll have a conversation. I'm down to debate you, Seth. I'm down to do it. Just not when you're intoxicated. I can't do that to myself. Okay. My brain would explode. All right. My brain would explode. I'd lose all my hair, and I'd age around 50 years. During a 25-minute discussion. Hello, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Hi. So, I do not. I've been watching you for a while. My whole family is like a support. So they support Trump, all of them. But you have actually been pushing me not to.
Dude, I'm really happy to hear that. That's awesome. Listen, hey, all the love in the world to you, Melina. We are just looking to talk to Trump supporters, but I think that is awesome. And I'm really happy that the streams here have been able to help you out with that. Dude, show some love to Melina down below as well. Show some love to Tree for the $15 donation on Venmo, who says, just got back from a week vacay to visit my BFF across the country. And the first thing I did was I hopped on your live. I miss you. Dude, Tree, it's good to see you. Tree, you are literally always hanging out with us. And I think that's so awesome. Thank you for being here, Tree. Thank you for the $15 on Venmo. Huge shout out to Tree down below. We're going to go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Hello and welcome in.
Oh, Dean.
Would you believe it if I were to check the posts that I'm tagged in every so often?
Oh, you saw that shit?
Yeah, you made a post about me, and then you took it down. Would you?
No, I'm gonna put it back up. Let me put it back up.
What do you like to describe? Would you like to describe to the viewers the post that you made about me? Go ahead.
I don't know. You do it.
No. Go ahead. Give a description.
I don't know, man.
No. Yes, you do. It's your post. Of course, you could describe what you posted. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Dean.
I didn't ask for an apology. I asked for you to describe what you posted to everybody that's watching, right? Like, obviously, they don't know what you posted. They didn't see it, but I did. So I'm just simply asking you to describe what you posted.
I noted on you.
Yeah. He's not kidding. He's not kidding. That's what it was. That was the post. What the fuck what was going through your head?
I want to have a debate, Dean.
What was going through your head when you did that?
Lust.
Bro said lust. Bro said lust. Man, that's weird. Okay. But I couldn't help but laugh at the way that he said that, the way that he said lust there. I couldn't help but laugh, but fucking weird guy. All right. Weirdo. Hundo P. What's up, Mel? Do you support Trump? Oh, I don't know if Mel's okay. We are going to go to kick Mel and move on to the next guest here, folks. On the opposite side of the queue, if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president, if you are, we'll get you loaded up into the live stream to have a conversation with me about why. All right, moving on to the next guest right now, folks. Once again, if you want to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio and TikTok, as well as you can find it within the pinned message of the YouTube stream. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? Appreciate you for that galaxy. Based, we are just looking for MAGA, but you take care, Meg. Moving on to the next guest. Tyler is going to be loading up into the live right now, quite frankly. Okay, yeah, just once again looking for some Trump supporters to debate. Hello, do you support Trump?
Hello, yes.
And how old are you? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take that as I'm 13. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. Okay, all right. Let's go to see what the next guest has to say. Yo, Anna, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal. She says, when we will get a Dean plus Parker co-host. I miss them. Dude, I miss those co-hosts too. In order to really do a peen co-host, right, we're going to need Parker to get a mix amp, all right, that will allow him to live stream and join like my stream simultaneously. What's up? Do you support Trump? Millie Queen? Not here. Yo, Lenny, thank you for the $10 on Super Chat. Who says IQ test the callers and Trump. Dude, did you see that Trump was boasting about like a dementia test? And like, I'm actually not even trolling either. Like, he actually was. He literally was. I saw that. That was pretty crazy. It was like, oh, which one? What animal shape is a tiger? What animal shape is a lion? Oh, can you remember these 5 words and then repeat them back in 5 minutes? Right? He was like, it was so hard. It was so hard. It was so hard. This test was unbelievable. Okay, I've taken it twice this year to prove my fitness and my high level of intelligence. That's right. Oh, I challenge AOC to take this very, very hard test that I've aced twice. Twice this year, I've aced it. I've aced it. The animals and the words, I've aced it. I challenge AOC to take this test. She is incompetent. She is so incompetent, she would not be able to point out which drawing is the tiger and which drawing is the lion. Because it's so hard. Only I can tell which drawing is the tiger and which drawing is the lion. Let's go ahead and get that next guest loaded up in here. Oh, what's up? Do you support Trump? Hello? Johnny is not here, so we're going to go to kick him and move on to the next guest. We got Dino Nuggies loading up into the box, folks. Only hop in that queue of your mag, and we'll bring you up here for dialogue. Yo, Joanne, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal, saying my granddaughter, Lila, and I really enjoy watching your live streams. Hey, thank you so much, Joanne. Show some love to Joanne and Lila down below in that chat, folks. Thank you so much for your kindness and $10. Welcome in, Dino Nuggets. Dino Nuggets?
What's good, twin?
Hey, do you support Trump?
Hello?
Do you support Trump?
Yeah and no. Yes and no.
How old are you?
18.
Okay, are you driving? I think you're driving. Moving on to the next guest, Twin. Let's go to get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the box. I feel like everybody in the queue is people that I've already seen. I don't think that this live is like pushing out to new people, unfortunately. Hey, Paola! Thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal. Paola says, I listen to your lives while I'm at work or doing homework. Keep up the good fight. Thank you, Paola. Huge shout out to you. Good to see you. I know that you've been here before. A handful of times. And then Morgan, thank you for the $5. And Tracy with the $5 over on Venmo. Thank you, guys. All right, let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. We got Marv Ferguson connecting to the stream. Hopefully Marv will give us a debate about why they support Trump. Madeline, thank you for the $2 on Venmo. And Marv is gone. Guys, go to put me with your age down below in that comment section if you would like to join up and have a dialogue about why you support Trump as president. Right now, we are just looking for anybody that is down for the convo. And let me tell you, guys, MAGA is going extinct. They're going away, okay? I can't find them anymore, okay? They don't want to talk to me. They're scared. They're running scared, quite frankly. What is up? Do you support Trump?
Sorry, I was just messing with the filters.
I don't even know what that means, but okay. All right, we're going to move on to the next guest right now, folks. Can't find anybody that supports Trump. Jesus Christ. Oh, my goodness. Hello, Lex. How old are you?
I'm 18.
What time is it?
9:06.
What state are you in?
I'm in Singapore right now.
Oh, Singapore. Nice. We were only looking to talk to people in America. 9:06. I'd assume that he's saying AM because it is 9:06 p.m. on the East Coast. Anyways, let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now, folks. Like I said, really just looking for Trump supporters. Can't really find many right now. They don't want to debate. What's up, Too Shifty Colton?
Hey.
Do you support Trump?
Hey. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and why the
I
hell?
got something else, though.
How old are you?
I'm 18. Who do you got for MVP this season? Drake May or Baker Mayfield?
There's football players?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch football.
You're loser.
Well, I mean, college football is pretty fun. I watch it sometimes.
I mean, yeah.
It's just not something I do often.
Like, who you got for MVP this season? Drake May or Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, I don't know who either of those two people are. Loser?
Yeah.
So why do you support Trump? Oh, wow. You really took that as disrespectful. He hit the road. He hit the road, dude. He said, no, I'm not going to talk to you because you're a loser. All right. Moving on to the next guest. Hello, Nathaniel. Do you support Trump?
Fuck no, I don't need to be here. I'm sorry.
No worries. I'll kick him in. Don't even worry about it. Next guest, Madison, is loading up, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to...
Nigger, kill all niggers, nigger,
I'm probably going to do like a significantly shorter stream today just because like we're not really finding any Trump supporters, unfortunately. I bet like the push out of the live is limited and like, it's just really hard to find Trump supporters that are down to talk to me. What's up, Landon? Do you support Trump?
No, but you're awesome.
I appreciate that, Landon. I would appreciate it if you would stay out of the queue, though, just so I have a little bit of an easier time here finding people that do support Trump. We got our next guest, Dylan, loading up into the box. Hello, Dylan. Do you support Trump?
I voted for him at the beginning, but now I'm like regretting that.
Awesome, man. I'm really happy that you regret that, but that's also telling me that you don't support Trump now. So I'm going to kick you. You take care, though. Moving on. Hello. Do you support Trump?
No, I don't support Trump currently, but I used to.
Well, I mean, I like I said, really awesome that you've changed your mind, man. I don't know, like, how I can make this clear enough, guys. We're looking for people that support Trump today, okay? Today, hello. And they're already gone. Please, guys, please follow those rules. Please. I'm begging you guys to follow those rules.
Watching your things though.
Hey, what's up?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do this.
Oh, no worries. You take care. Hey, Soul! Thank you for the $10 on Venmo. He says daily love for the Daily Chef session. Appreciate you for that love, Soul. You were awesome. Show some love to Soul down below while we're looking to get that next guest Jay loaded up in the box. As well as Jolie. Thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Who says anchor down and thank you for inspiring me. Thank you, Jolie. All right.
Hell yeah.
Hey, do you support Trump, Jay?
Oh, what's good I do, man?
Yeah, and how do you?
Not a whole lot, but just a little.
Yeah, are you playing some fucking video game right now?
Oh yeah, let me cut off Mortal Kombat, dude.
Okay, right.
It's good to talk with you.
So knowing everything that you do now, if you were teleported back to November, who'd you vote for?
So I'm kind of on the fence a little bit. I think Donald Trump, because of his economic plans.
Yeah.
Knowing that I know now about his economic plan, I think that was some shitty. Honestly.
Okay, so you'd vote for Trump again because you think his policy is shitty.
I just like what he did for black people in his first term. Being African American, like what if his policies?
I can't really hear you too loud over the background. Is there a possibility that you go into a room that's a little bit more quiet?
Kids. I got kids. So.
Oh, no worries. If you need to watch them, no worries. Go watch your kids. I'll just move on to the next guest.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Sorry.
So yeah, what has Donald Trump done that's beneficial for Black Americans? Because as far as I'm concerned, I think that his policy disproportionately disenfranchises and negatively impacts Black Americans. Like for instance, there is a difference between the average socioeconomic standard of the average Black American and the average white American in this country because of systemic racism, slavery, and its aftermath, right? And because of that, when Donald Trump is passing policy that disproportionately hurts you more the less you make, well, because of that discrepancy in the average socioeconomic standing, he'd be disproportionately hurting Black Americans. And that is exactly what the Big Beautiful Bill does. It's a largest redistribution of wealth from the poor to the rich in the history of this country. Same thing with his tariffs, which serve as a regressive tax that hurt you more the less you make, proportionate to your income. Or other things, like wanting to roll back abortion protections when 54% of women that access abortion do so because of financial instability. And once again, because of those reasons that we already went over, Black women are more likely on average to experience financial instability compared to white women because of racism, systemic racism, slavery and its aftermath, amounting to that discrepancy in the average socioeconomic standard, meaning that that'd be disproportionately negatively impacting Black women, right? So these are just a handful of the things that Donald Trump has done to hurt Black people. Of course, there's many, many more, but I'll let you take the mic away. How is he more beneficial than hurtful to Black Americans?
My whole thing is with the Democratic Party, for a long time, they were just more in support of the status quo and using Black Americans, as a pawn in the grand scheme to use our vote instead of directly benefiting us.
Okay, we'll talk about the Democrats. I'm down. We could do that. But I just want to clarify, right? The question that I asked you is, how is Donald Trump more beneficial than harmful to Black Americans?
I think, I can't really think of anything right now, but I think like Kamala Harris, she didn't really have anything that would sway me to vote for her, and specifically about African Americans.
If Kamala Harris didn't have anything that would sway you to vote for her, then what did Donald Trump have to sway you to vote for him?
Just in the first term, reducing some of the sentence guidelines and things like that. I read something about that.
So what bill are you talking about?
It was like prison reform.
Okay, so you're talking about the First Step Act. That was proposed to Congress under Obama.
Yeah,
the Republicans refused to pass it until they had a Republican in the White House. Not to mention that today Donald Trump is infringing and violating the First Step Act by calling for the death penalty for DRUG sellers. And that was actually one of the things that the First Step Act alleviated.
When did he do that?
It was a campaign promise that he ran on, and it's something that he's been doing by dropping bombs on boats in the middle of the Caribbean, and something that he wants to be the case on American soil too.
Oh, I have to read more on that, but I thought they found drugs on those boats.
Well,
if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I mean, that's what they say, but in all reality, I mean, I don't think that, they see a day in court, right? They're not given due process. I think it'd be significantly better, right, to detain them on a vessel, take them back to America and prosecute them through the American criminal justice system. But once again, can you please respond? Can you please respond to
that been working?
Can you please respond to all of the reasons I gave you and more to demonstrate that Donald Trump is incredibly harmful to Black Americans through his policy?
Can you repeat it? I'm sorry.
Can you please respond to all the reasons that I gave you to demonstrate that Donald Trump is incredibly harmful to Black Americans through his policy?
Who are you talking to? I'll go. I'm in the middle of a conversation. Okay.
I need to go shopping.
I can't really think. Now you got me.
I think that she.
Explain my opinion even more for the left.
I think that your daughter maybe is making a convincing argument. You should go hang out with her.
You're right, Dean. I just wanted to talk to you.
I'm gonna kick you just so that's what you.
How you feel?
I'm sorry. That was just that's just so cute. They're I'm sorry. She convinced me. Okay, she won the debate. I'm gonna have to kick you so you could go shopping with her. That's adorable. That's very adorable. Okay, let's go to move on to the next guest. There we go. let's get that next guest loaded up into the box. All right, folks, guys, please only hop inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. That's who we're looking for right now, guys. And we're honestly not having too much luck. Boy, oh boy, what a long day. Oh my God, dude, Chris. Oh my god, dude. Fucking Chris. Thank you so much for the $300 donation on Venmo. Dude, what the fuck? Oh my god. Mr. Chris with a $300 donation on Venmo says, and I quote, just because. Chris, this just came through, so I know that you're here. I know that you're watching. Dude, you're the fucking goat. Chris, that is so incredibly kind. I simply just don't deserve that much love. The beeping is back. Oh my god. I don't deserve that much love, Chris. Thank you so much for your kindness. I want to see, okay, chat. I want to see nothing but Chris W spammed in both of the live chats on TikTok and on YouTube for like the next 10 minutes. Chris, seriously, thank you so much for the love, bro. It's just, that's so incredibly kind. That's so incredibly generous. Huge shout out to you. Now, we will go ahead and recenter around the debates here, but seriously, chat, show some fucking love to the GOAT, Chris. Thank you so much, man. What is up? What is up? Do you support Trump? And Scarlett's not even here. Oh boy. All right, moving on to Isabella. Hello, Isabella.
Oh, I'm on live. I'm so sorry. I'm walking back. I literally am lagging. I'm on live. I'm on it.
Isabella, hello. Oh, and Isabella's gone. Well, she supports Trump. Unfortunate. Her bio says Boko. She's where I'm at right now. I was going to ask her if she went to the game. And then I was going to debate her on why she supports Trump. But unfortunately, she's gone. There was just a game here at Boulder. It sounded like she was walking back. The game just got out. I bet that she was actually walking from the football game to wherever she lives, like right now as we speak. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. All right, still looking for that next Trump supporter, folks. Go ahead and hop inside of that queue. Oh, she's actually back in the queue. Let's get Isabel up here. Let's debate her. Her bio says, Jesus loves you.
It keeps on lagging.
Hello, Isabella.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think.
It keeps on freezing.
Yeah, terrible connection. Terrible. MAGA mobile. I can still hear, even though I just kicked her. All right. Hey, Isabella, if you can still hear me, your connection is really bad. Feel free to re-request up. If you get a better one, I'll happily have you up. But unfortunately, I'm just going to have to move on to the next guest for now, but you take care. MAGA mobile. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box. What is going on? Do you support Trump?
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to join.
No worries, you take care, Lydia. Moving on to the next guest right now. We got our next guest, Scarlett, connected to the stream right now, folks. Here we go, as well as Courtney. Thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo, who says, having a hard time finding Trump supporters might be annoying, but I take it as a win in real life. Thank you so much for educating the masses. Much appreciated. You know what, Courtney? I say this frequently, because you are right, all right? It, on occasion, can be annoying to not find any Trump supporters to debate. But in all reality, right, the reason why we can't is because less people are supporting this idiot, right? Because MAGA is dead. It is extinct. Now, folks, if you've been watching my life for a while, then you will know before the election, okay, Trump supporters were coming out of just everywhere, out of the ass to try to get on this live to have a conversation with us. Okay, they were
I clicked it by accident. I'm so sorry,
No
Dean.
worries, Rose. No worries. They were so bold. They were so confident. Now, 10 months later, where the hell are they? They're gone. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now, folks. Only join if you support Trump. Only join if you support Trump. All right. Hello, Garrett. Do you support Trump? 5 seconds.
Yep.
How old are you?
26.
Okay, and why the hell do you support the worst president of your 26 years of life? The president that has declared war on American cities said that he could send the Army, the Marines, and the Navy into these cities, and there's nothing anybody could do to stop him. The guy that has infringed on the 1st, 2nd, 10th, 5th, 14th, and 22nd Amendment within the last 8 months. The guy that passed the Big Beautiful Bill, which was the largest redistribution of wealth from the poor to the rich in modern American history, while also taking health care away from 10 million low-income Americans. And as of today, right, Trump has now taken food stamps away from 41 million Americans, not only by causing the government shutdown, but also refusing to do something about it insofar as allowing emergency funding from Congress to continue to fund these benefits during the shutdown, or giving a pledge to the states that if they pick up the bill for now, he will reimburse them once the shutdown is over. Is debate over before it started, Garrett? He's also an adjudicated rapist that has boasted about sexually exploiting naked women and naked girls backstage in their dressing rooms unconsensually by looking at them at Miss Teen USA, Miss USA. Oh, and he was best buddies with Epstein. And he's on the Epstein list. And he asked the FBI to redact his name from the Epstein list. And now he's calling it an act of hostility against the administration to vote for the full release of the Epstein files in Congress. And he's having his quote-unquote puppet, Mike Johnson, delay the swearing in of a congresswoman that is pledged to be the final and last vote to force the release of the Epstein files, amounting to legal obstruction, leading the Attorney General of the state of Arizona into suing Mike Johnson in Congress. And he sent a letter to Epstein depicting the body of a naked woman and or a naked girl with a statement, "May every new day be another wonderful secret." By the way, feel free to just start talking. I'll stop talking whenever you start responding, but I'm just going to keep on going. Oh, and I mean, he's just a threat to the debt. In his first term, he spent $8.6 trillion. And so far in the last 5 months, he spent 10 months, he spent $5 trillion, including the most expensive bill ever passed, the Big Beautiful Bill, which we already went over a little bit. Oh, and his abortion policy is terrible. He had SCOTUS overturn Roe v. Wade, which has now led to 60 women that were raped and then impregnated being denied access to abortion every single day in 10 of our 50 states. Oh, and if you're a Christian, which I bet you are, he's incredibly anti-Christian as well. Okay, like not only is he not a Christian as he said that, but like additionally, he fights against Christian values every single day, once again, by hurting the poor, once again, by, excluding people he deems as outsiders. Jesus would meet with anybody. He tried to do this with the attempted Muslim ban, attempting to ban any Muslim immigrants from being able to come into America in his first term, right? Or his isolation of the LGBTQ plus community, the language that he used to refer to undocumented immigrants today, and the way that he's treating them, even though Leviticus 19, verse 11, the Christian Bible says to not treat them any differently, right, than native born. Should we stop there, or should we also go on to the 30,000 confirmed lies he told in his first 4 years, including but not limited to the largest lie that any president has ever told with his denial of the outcome of the 2020 election and the attempted coup as well?
Yeah, I'm not a Trump supporter. I just like you spitting all them facts. Keep doing what you do.
Dude. Well, okay. At least we're educating the masses, right? Garrett, don't do that. Don't do that. Isabella's back in the box. And she's gone again. All right. Moving on to the next guest. Moving on. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now, folks. Hello, do you support Trump?
I had a question.
Are you MAGA?
I'm not really sure. I'm in the middle.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
I was born in 2007.
Okay. And if you're not really sure what I'd recommend, man, is just honestly watching the live. I think that watching the live can really help solidify anti-Trump. Hello, Isabella.
I'm so sorry. Bro, all right. Lucy. Hello?
Hello, Isabella.
Hi.
Hi, do you support Trump?
Yes.
Yeah, your bio says Boco. Are you in Boulder?
Yes, I am in Boco. Actually,
Terrible.
we're walking away right now. Yeah. We're walking back to my place. Yeah.
Terrible, Isabella. Terrible, Isabella.
What? What do you mean terrible? What?
Did you leave the game at halftime?
I did because we're losing so badly. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's why I didn't go. I'm actually in Boulder right now myself. But anyways, Isabella.
I know. We lost the last 5 games. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us why you support Trump.
Because of his immigration policies and his abortion policies as well. Yes.
Oh wait, Isabella, I said this to somebody else. It's a Saturday night.
Hello?
Day following Halloween. Are you intoxicated?
Huh? No, I'm like only a little tipsy. That's it.
Yeah, Isabel. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told to somebody that joined the live earlier. Feel free to join when you're sober. I just listen. If you are 21 or older, I don't blame you for going to the game drunk. Okay, it's fun. It's a nice activity. But I cannot bring myself to debate. Tipsy nor like drunk Trump supporters. I can't do it. I can't. It's just a rule that I have, man. I can't subject myself to those conditions. All right, moving on to the next guest here, folks. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Here we go. We got heart emoji connecting. Hello, do you support Trump? Hello? Nope, not here. Moving on to our next guest, Lacey. All right, guys, we are really struggling to find a Trump supporter. This is tough. Yesenia, that is Yesenia. Thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Saying, I hate seeing how much, let's go ahead and read off Yesenia's message. I hate seeing how much sexual harassment you receive, but the guy that made the video was disgusting and you don't deserve that. Listen, yeah, it's pretty gross. It was directed towards me, like my response, because it was directed towards me, like people are just fucking weird, you know? I just kind of brush it off my shoulder. And that's only because it was directed towards me. But that doesn't change the fact that it's weird, it's wrong, it's gross. But I mean, I just personally brush it off like that when it's directed towards me. What's up, Zoe? Do you support Trump?
No, but I just want to say you're really fine.
Okay, well, we're only looking to talk to Trump supporters, Zoe. You take care. Moving on to the next guest, we got Caden loading up into the box. Actually, we cannot talk to Caden since he has a naughty word in his name. Moving on to the next guest, we got our next guest, Montana, loading up into the stream. I'd also like to thank Thumb. Thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for that love, Thumb. Thumb with the $25 says, I'm drunk and I support you. Thumb! It's good to see you, Thumb. You've been supporting the stream and Parker for like years now. Dude, let's get some fucking W's for Mr. Thumb down below in that comment section. Montana, what the hell's going on? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay. All right. And how old are you?
I am 18.
Okay. I believe you. Whatever. What the hell? Right? Can I, real quick, can I get a big W Jesse from you?
Who is Jesse?
Don't worry about it. Can I just get a W Jesse?
I guess so.
W
Jesse.
Yeah! W Jesse for the $50 donation over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Jesse. I want to see 500 Jesse W's down below in that comment section. Jesse with the $50 says, I appreciate you. Have you read the book, The Quote Unquote Righteous Mind by Jonathan Hadid? It changed my understanding of debate. Highly recommended. Jesse, I'll have to check it out. I love good book recommendations, even though I don't read books often. And thank you so much for your love and kindness, dude. Let's show some love and appreciation to Jesse down below in that chat while we're starting this next debate. And if you are watching and you'd like to show some love, you could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok and in the pinned message of the YouTube stream. Appreciate you guys so much. Actually, one more here before I give the mic to Montana. Thank you so much for the $35 over on Venmo from Lily. Lily, thank you so much for your kindness. That is fucking awesome. Dude, throw some W Lilies in with those W Jessies. Thank you both so much. Fuck yeah. Thank you guys. Go ahead. Take it away. Tell us why you support Trump. Thank you guys. Thank you so much, Lily and Jesse. Go ahead.
I support Trump due to, I guess, his leadership. And I think that's a very important statement for to be made, because it's not just of the person who he is. And like, I've seen like debates of yours and stuff, like it's not of who he is. Like you disagree and you don't like who he is. Like you think, oh, he's this, sex offender pretty much. I mean,
yes,
looking out.
That is, he is. Yes, he is a rapist. That is true.
And before I completely start, I will say I'll be respectful, whatever. I respect you as a person. And I think this world's gone kind of crazy with left and right, But I am going to say that, like with tariffs, okay, for instance, I think that, yes, the tariff war was completely awful. I mean, it's going to raise prices. It's going to do things. But I think it's very important that we had a president that goes and steps up and is like, hey, this isn't okay. They've been bullying us for so many years, and this isn't okay. And I don't know, that's just, that itself just kind of shows like what kind of person he is as far as a leader, not saying person.
Okay, so you support him because he's imposed tariffs on our allies.
That was kind of a statement. He made a statement to them that you're not going to push us around.
Yeah, so for instance, he imposed massive tariffs on Canada. How is Canada pushing us around?
Tariffs in general. Tariffs are a weird topic.
Whoa. That can't be true because we agreed, right? We agreed to terms on trade with Canada and Mexico. They were following to a T the terms that Donald Trump laid out that they accepted. How could they have been pushing us around?
I guess it was just a way. I guess I'm not really talking about just Canada, but
So then what country are you specifically talking about? Because the thing is, right, you said it is a vague, a general statement that he's imposing tariffs on countries that were pushing us around. So I just, chose a country at random that he imposed tariffs on.
China. So China is a major one.
China was pushing us around. How so?
I'm sorry, a little bit. Anyways, they were imposing hella tariffs on us. Hella tariffs.
So imposing high tariffs on another country means that we're pushing them around. So when Donald Trump imposed 300% tariffs on them, we were pushing them around?
Yes, because, it's kind of one of those things where you stand up for yourself. You're like, hey, I'm not okay with this.
Yeah, and do you think that those tariffs that we imposed on China, helped us?
No, I don't think tariffs in general.
They hurt. Yes, so you're telling us that you support Trump to be the president because he's imposing legislation that hurts us. So you're more like an America last kind of guy. Oh, no, tariffs certainly do hurt us. Okay, not only do they reduce the competition in the American marketplace, thereby also reducing the innovation, but they also make you pay more, okay? The tariff tax is ultimately passed off to the importer of a good, right, as just a cost of production and distribution, and then the importer of that good then passes some of it off to the consumer in order to keep their profit margins in the green. That is inflation. And that is inflation that is disproportionately felt by lower income Americans as they spend a greater proportion of their income on consumption.
Okay, but I could reverse that. And it's like with the stimulus checks and stuff that Biden was giving out on, after COVID and stuff, yeah, whatever, people might need that. But I'm saying everything can cause tariffs, and especially with Biden and Biden's administration shutting down pipelines, businesses and stuff like that to reduce what was it that they called the fossil fuels in the air and trying to make things go the electric route and trying to make the air cleaner, whatever, I don't know, global warming type stuff. And that's hurting us because it's raising fuel prices. Now,
so you'd say that the Biden-Harris administration raised fuel prices by reducing the amount of oil produced on American soil?
100%. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Did you know that's propaganda?
That's a fact.
No, it's not. The fact of the matter is, under the Biden-Harris administration, this country produced the most oil it has ever.
I completely disagree with you on that, respectfully.
So my source is the Energy Information Administration, EIA.gov, that is still reporting that today under the Trump administration with his appointees running it. What's your source? Watching news articles. My own input.
Could
you point me towards one of these articles that disputes the findings of?
I'm not on a computer or anything. I can't report you to an article.
So you can't find evidence.
I'm not saying I can't find evidence.
Okay, then answer that question straight up. Can you?
Okay. Right this second, I can. Right this second, as we speak, I cannot.
So you are saying you can't find evidence.
I'm saying that I can't give you that evidence right this second because obviously I have no computer next to me. You have a whole setup.
Well, I guess I do have. I have two laptops in front of me. One on my right, one on my left. It's the on-the-go setup. Okay, all right. Well, hear me out. The Energy Information Administration, under both Republican leadership and Democrat leadership, has now reported the same fact. That fact being that under the Biden-Harris administration, we produced the most oil we ever have as a country in a 4-year span. In fact, we even have these specific levels of production, okay? So the most oil that was ever produced in a given month under Donald Trump in his first term was in December of 2019 when we were producing 12.9 million barrels of oil per day. Now, under Biden, from July of 2023 until the end of their administration, they produced well over 13 million barrels of oil per day. That's a fact, okay? Now, if you want to disagree with that, right, that's going to be purely driven by your own political bias, right, and your own consumption of misinformation. And you can prove that I am saying things that are true, that I'm not lying to you by trying to find evidence to demonstrate that I'm wrong. You will ultimately fail to do that, okay? You will not be able to find evidence to demonstrate that I'm wrong. And at that point, I would like a concession.
Okay. Then if I can't find the evidence to, obviously prove you wrong, you tell me, what do you think that, okay, let's talk about the border, okay? Can we talk about the border and how, all of that is kind of processed?
We can talk about whatever you want.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the border. Do you think that it's not a fact that how Trump and his administration is handling the border is a little bit better than how Kamala and them were handling the border? Kamala was kind of in charge of that kind of stuff.
Do I think that's not a fact?
I'm asking, I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't
exactly
think that's a fact.
Okay, and I genuinely, I've watched a lot of your lives, and I've never heard you really speak much about that. I want to hear what you're thinking about it, because to me, that sounds like complete and utter, sickening, biggest lie you could tell yourself. But I'm willing to listen to you.
So the reason why you think that that's the biggest lie I could tell myself is because when you look at the numbers, you see a lot of undocumented entry under Biden in his first 2.5 years, right? And then you see the fact that undocumented entry has fallen by 97% in the last year, okay, right? And they're like, well, border crossings are so much lower now. How could you not say he's handling it better? It's because of what he's done to cause that outcome, okay? Listen, if Donald Trump implemented good proactive policy that reduced undocumented entry now and in the long term by addressing its root cause, which is slow, neglected, and inexpensive legal means of entry, then I'd say it's a good thing. But a matter of fact, okay, that is not how Donald Trump reduced undocumented entry. He didn't do that through good policy. He did that through fascism. Okay, right? The reason why I believe we've seen a reduction in the amount of undocumented entry into this country in the last 10 months is because he has scared it away by violating both the human and constitutional rights of undocumented immigrants that are already in this country. If you would like me to give you very specific examples, let me know and I will.
I'm going to say it though, one thing that he's gone about it, if you didn't do the legal process, with the Biden administration, a lot of them didn't do a lot of the legal ways to do things. So he's kind of putting his foot down. And yes, you're seeing a lot of deportations and you're seeing a lot of
Do you agree with deportations?
Oh my God, look at how. And you're saying it's whatever the words you use. You said it was the rights or whatever, the immigrants. But the vote of the matter is yes, they're humans, they whatever, but they can go through the legal process to do that. It's not illegal, and it's not.
So you don't support people breaking the law?
I don't support people breaking the law, and that's why I'm saying that legally you have to do the legal process. And if people are getting deported,
if you don't support breaking the law, then you obviously don't support the fact that Donald Trump has infringed on the Constitution 5 or 6 times in the last 8 months, is a 34-count felon and adjudicated rapist. So how do you support him as president?
So I would like to say that you did change the complete subject on what I was talking about. I was talking about one thing, and you kind of just changed it to him being whatever. That's not what we're talking about.
I understand I understand how you could look at that and think it's a pivot, but in all reality, right, there's a conceptual relationship between the 2 points. You're like, let's deport undocumented immigrants, punish them for breaking the law, even if it makes this country worse. Okay? But seemingly, right, you view these as rules for thee, but not for the T, that T being Donald Trump, right? Because when he does something that is exorbitantly worse than committing a federal misdemeanor, like committing 34 felonies, raping E. Jean Carroll, infringing on the Constitution, or boasting about sexual exploitation, you just kind of brush it under the rug. When he faces no accountability, you don't really care. In fact, you want to make him president. So it's related, right? But it's a relationship that I'm bringing up to prove your own hypocrisy.
Okay, since you keep changing it to this, I'm gonna kind of briefly go over this. I think that it is kind of impossible for even if it was Biden in the situation, it's really impossible with politics to have a rightful court trial. I'm not saying he didn't do it, because obviously I can't read minds, and I don't know, you can't know exactly what happened, not even you, even if it's law, there's some innocent murderers. But what I'm saying is like, it is really hard to find a right trial for them because people are biased. People hate Trump. Like even if it was Biden, people hate Biden. It'd be very biased. So the point of the matter is,
what if
like,
you knew that he actually did these things? You were confident of it. Like for instance, what if you knew he had sexually exploited naked girls and/or naked women? Would you still support him as president?
Okay, how do you know that? There's no actual proof. And
yeah, I'm saying if there was, if you were fully convinced that he has done this. If you're fully convinced that he has sexually exploited naked teen girls and/or naked women by like perving on them unconsensually when they had no clothes on in like a private dressing room, would you still support him as president?
I don't support that, but my whole point with that was like how I support his leadership.
So I just want a yes or no. If you knew, if you fully knew, if you were confident that Donald Trump had sexually exploited little girls, would you still support him as president?
Not entirely, but I still would support what he's doing. I'm not saying that's a very hard question to ask.
The question is, overall, okay, if you knew he'd sexually exploited teen girls, if you were teleported back to November, would you still vote for him?
I wouldn't. Okay, can I make this clear? I will answer your question. I would vote for what I believe in. So if that's a Democrat, if that's Republican, I am so far off of like Kamala and them that it's a really hard question to ask because I'm so against on what Kamala's for that I would pretty much vote for anything that's not Kamala. If it was a different candidate, like a Democratic candidate that I agreed with some of his moral, whatever, I would vote for him. I'm making it very clear that even like right now,
is just the answer to the question a yes or a no? And by the way, her name is pronounced Kamala.
Okay. But anyway, fine. No, I will give you that answer.
So you would regret voting for Trump if you knew that he had sexually exploited little girls or women?
No. Yes. That's a hard. I'm sorry. Yes. Like I do not support that. I don't support that.
So you would regret voting for him if you knew he had done these things? Yes or no? Just be honest.
I would regret having him on the ballot at all. That's
just not the question that I asked you.
If you want a simple yes or no, you're 100% right on that. But there's no actual fact. It's hard to have.
You're saying that you wouldn't regret voting for him.
No, I'm saying like I wouldn't vote for that. No, I'm not saying that. Okay, so I wouldn't vote for a rapist or whatever. Besides,
so you would regret voting for him.
I wouldn't vote for that if that was the case, but I don't believe in that.
So you would regret voting for him, right?
Yeah, I keep answering this question.
The answer is yes. I just wanted a clear and direct answer. I think that a lot of Trump supporters come up on this live, and after, right, I asked them this question, and I play them the clip of Donald Trump admitting to sexually exploiting either little girls and or naked women, right? Then you try to play some game of like mental gymnastics, where you try to explain how, although you still support him as president, this doesn't contradict what you said before I played you the clip. But in this circumstance, you just told us that you would definitely regret voting for Donald Trump as president, and you would no longer support him today if it was the case that you knew he had sexually exploited naked women and or naked girls. Well, here is a clip of Donald Trump admitting to exactly that on Howard Stern's radio show. Let's take a listen.
But later the question is, how can it not be construed? No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And, well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that. So you have done that. I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else, and no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. Right. I want to make sure that everything is good. You're there. Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
And again, I fully respect what you say, but let me just speak for just a minute, okay? I will say that if that stuff happened, yes, that's screwed up that he is on the ballot and whatever, like he should be on the ballot. But there's no way. Well, what I'm saying is like, at some point there becomes a crisis, okay, on what you believe in, and if some party is a part of is doing things that you totally disagree with, it becomes kind of a crisis and kind of a political standpoint where there are some things that Trump does or Trump stands for that people stand for. So yes, if that stuff were to have happened, theoretically, I don't agree with it, but I think that it's a crisis. I mean, with I am a gunslinging Republican, just gunslinging out in the country, whatever, and it's not. I agree with what he believes in. That's what I'm trying to get to tell you today. Is yes, I wish that there was somebody else on the ballot.
Why do y'all always fucking do this, dude? I swear to God, you understand that we don't have the memory of a goldfish. You understand that we all remember you telling us, yes, you would not have voted for Trump, and you would regret your support and your vote for Trump if you knew he had done what he just admitted to in that clip. Now, after I actually play that clip and prove that he's done these things per his own admission, all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm actually going to change my language now and say, well, I wish he wasn't on the ballot if, theoretically, what you're saying is true. Even though you know right before I played that clip, you didn't just merely say you wish he wasn't on the ballot, but you said even though he was on the ballot, you wouldn't have voted for him and you would regret voting for him. And that is not theoretically if it's true. I just proved that it's true by playing you a clip of him admitting to it and boasting about it.
Okay. And why did what I said get kind of dismissed on far as what I was standing for politically? And I was kind of telling you a little bit on what I believe in what Trump's doing, and you kind of turned it into this, which I get what you're saying on why would I vote for him if he was this.
Let's have a big old long conversation about border policy as soon as you could address the fact that you said you'd regret voting for Trump if you knew that he had sexually exploited naked women and or naked girls. And then I played you a clip of him admitting to sexually exploiting naked women and or naked girls, and you haven't told us that you regret your vote for Trump yet.
Well, I'm not saying, I'm saying that there's things like AI, there's things like whatever, so I don't know where that sources came from.
You don't know if that's real? Oh,
there is things called CNN, and all of that practically is fake. I swear.
Okay, then let me tell you, that's a clip from 2005. AI wasn't a thing and couldn't emulate voices in 2005. And that's coming from Howard Stern's radio show, one of the largest radio shows, right, in modern American history, super popular in the 90s and early 2000s. In fact, I could bet that there's a surprising amount of the older audience that is watching this right now that literally listened to it live, okay? Right? It is season 11, episode 7 of the Howard Stern Show that aired live on August 21st, 2005. And it was heard live by a lot of the people in the chat right now.
Okay. And I get that, and I get where you're coming from.
So it's real.
But
can we agree that clip is real? Can we agree that clip is Trump? Can we? Okay, let's keep it simple. Okay, no distractions, no pivots, nothing special, nothing extra. Can we agree that clip is real?
I will. Okay, I'll come to a common ground with you, and I will say that is probably something that happened. Okay. I'm going to, and I will say that I understand why you don't support Trump himself.
So the answer is yes. You agree that he has sexually exploited naked women and or naked girls. So before I played you that clip, what did I ask you? I asked you if you knew Donald Trump had sexually exploited naked girls and or naked women, would you regret voting for him? And you said yes. So, sir, I only want to hear one word come out of your mouth, either yes or no. Because you said you would regret voting for Trump if you knew he had sexually exploited naked women and or naked girls, and I just proved to you that that's something he's done, and you accepted that's something he's done, do you regret voting for Trump?
I'm going to say
yes or no.
Trump himself? Yeah, yes.
I just want a yes or no.
Fine, yes.
Okay, so you do regret voting for Trump, so you're no longer a Trump supporter.
I will not go to the extent of saying that I'm a Democrat because I believe in what I believe and you believe in what you believe, but I do believe that there is better than Trump, and I think that when it comes to that time to elect, I will vote for who I think. However, like I'm saying, there is some things that is a crisis in this country that we need to seriously work on, and there's no working on those things with the Biden-Harris administration or with Kamala or anything like that. There's no working on those things. So what I was trying to point to you is that there are things that Trump's doing right, and there's reasons why people are supporting him, even if all of this stuff's going on, to make this country better. Right now it's in a complete crisis.
So go ahead and give me 3 things that Donald Trump is doing to make this country better. Be very specific.
Okay, I will tell you right what I mentioned. I will tell you with the border policies and
which ones.
I can't name a specific. I'm sorry, I do not have a computer. I'm in front of my face.
Just give me a vague idea. What border policy? Give me a vague idea. Don't even debate. You don't need to give me the specific name. Just give me a vague idea. What are these border policies doing? What precisely are they doing? What are they? Be specific.
We are getting rid of those immigrants that did not come here legally.
Oh, mass deportation. Sure. Go ahead and name one specific way that mass deportation materially benefits this country.
By making people not think, oh, we can just come into this country freely.
Okay, so by disincentivizing undocumented entry? Okay, what does that do to materially benefit this country? To disincentivize undocumented entry by and through a mass deportation.
Okay, well, can you answer this question for me?
No, I want you to answer mine.
Okay, restate your question.
Name one way, one very specific way, that mass deportation materially benefits this country and or anybody in it.
By making it very clear that you can't just walk into this country and think you own the place. You got to go through legal process.
So you're saying that mass deportation benefits this country by making it clear that if you enter into this country as an undocumented immigrant, you're going to be deported. And how does that benefit this country? I'm forcing you to think. Don't run away now. I'm forcing you to think. And he left. You force a Trump supporter to think. They either experience an epiphany, right? They wake up, right? And they turn to the light. Or that happens. Hey, welcome back, Isabella.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I joined off my iPad this time.
Are you in a little bit of a better position to have a debate?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, debate? Oh, gosh.
Yeah, this is a debate live. We talk about
little argument? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, we're gonna argue and debate.
Okay. Yeah.
So why do you support Trump?
Because his immigration, definitely immigration illegal. Let's get that key word, because I had people hounding me last time. Illegal immigration.
Okay, so you support him because he's doing what to illegal immigration? Or as I like to say, undocumented immigration?
No, undocumented, because also I don't understand, because Barack Obama was doing the same thing, and if anything, he holds the record for most deportations.
I'd like to make it clear, I don't think that Obama was doing the same thing. See, Donald Trump is deporting undocumented immigrants without due process.
Okay, can you explain to me why he's not doing the same thing? Because I don't understand, because since Barack Obama holds the record, I'm sorry, I just am very much not understanding that, since they both are deporting illegals, if that makes sense. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Obama didn't deport undocumented immigrants without due process. Obama didn't lie to America.
Okay, I didn't know that he was doing it without due process. I'm sorry, I was unaware of that one.
Yeah, so Donald Trump has deported a lot of undocumented immigrants without due process. Most notoriously, a handful of planes worth of Venezuelan immigrants to Sica in El Salvador, even though they did not see a day in court nor a hearing in front of an immigration judge. In fact, we had an immigration judge, tell the Trump administration that he had to turn those planes around because they didn't have due process, and that if he didn't turn those planes around, he could be held in contempt for violating their constitutional rights. He didn't care, and he still did it.
Oh, I was not aware of that at all.
Yeah. Do you mind if I thank a couple people here before you give a response to that?
No, you're okay. Yes, of course. I'm sorry.
FED, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal, saying thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Well, thank you so much, FED. Thank you so much. Huge shout out to FED down below in that comment section, as well as Tom. Thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love. Are you familiar with the 2022 study, UC Davis economic study, suggesting that your amnesty policy would boost GDP 1.7 trillion and an increase something? Well, your donation cut off. I'm really interested in the first half that I did see. I'm gonna have to do some research. I'm not familiar with that study. I'll look into it. Thank you so much. And then holy shit,
I'm not aware of that.
yeah, and then holy shit, Lily, thank you so much for the $75 donation on Venmo. Jesus Christ, Lily. Lily with a $75 says love and support for Gen Z and the future. Lily, thank you so much for the love. That is an insane amount of love. Thank you so much for the $75. Show some love to Lily down below in that chat, as well as Renee with a $7.50 saying the only thing I disagree with you is the way that you say federal. Am I saying it wrong? I don't know. Thank you for the $7.50, Renee. And then, of course, Angel, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. Appreciate you so much for the love. Angel says, quote unquote, Dean, do you support Trump? Yes, I do. Dean, why do you suck? End quote. This will forever live rent free in my head. Keep on doing what you do, man. I appreciate you. That's funny as hell, Angel. Thank you so much for the $25. Thank you for your love and support. Show some love to Angel down below. And then one last one here, Miss Maya. Thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo as well. Thank you so much for the love, Maya, as well as I read your message there. That is a great quote. Thank you so much. Show some love to Maya. Show some love to all of the donors. If you're watching and you'd like to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal right there on TikTok. You could also find it in the bio. And you can also find it in the pinned comment on the YouTube stream. Anyways, Lily, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was not listening. What was the last sentence?
I think I accidentally just called you Lily. Sorry, Isabella.
Yes, I was about to say that was. I was like so confused. What?
Yeah. So Isabella, go ahead. You're telling us why you support Trump. You were like, oh, mass deportation.
Yes, I was going to say illegal. Keyword illegal deportation. Rather than legal, and I'm also multitasking, getting ready for tonight as well. I'm sorry.
And then you brought up the fact that like, well, what's the difference between Obama and Trump? You were like comparing the two policies.
Obama,
and then I started like bringing up a bunch of differences between the policy of Obama and Trump. I was like, well, Obama didn't deport people without due process. Trump is. Obama didn't like call for like the termination of the constitutional rights of undocumented immigrants. Trump is. Obama, right, didn't support the deportation of every single undocumented immigrant. More so just those with prior criminal offenses. Trump wants to deport every single undocumented immigrant. But at the end of the day, listen, okay, assuming that Obama had the same immigration policy as Trump, assuming that Obama wanted to remove every undocumented immigrant from this country like Trump, then the conclusion would be that both the immigration policy of Trump and Obama, right, is bad.
Just because I've had I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because you're anxiety stick. I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you. It is my anxiety stick. Yep.
I just feel like overall, just in my case, I feel like because of my positionality and my family, we've waited our turns and overall. That's why in the immigration policy. So that's why I just don't think that it's fair and overall. Since we waited our time.
Free. I'm just gonna be honest with you about that. Your just points are coming off incoherent because of that. However, like I could
Sorry,
still.
yeah, that makes sense.
I just want to let you know. I mean, I can still like kind of respond to them. I could try my best, right? Like you just said, well, undocumented entry is unfair to legal immigrants. Okay, well, here's the thing: undocumented immigrants create a better America. Okay, they contribute 1.1 through 1.7 trillion dollars to the GDP. They pay $100 billion per year in taxes. They're 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes, 3 times less likely to commit property crimes, and 3.5 times.
But how do you have those statistics if they're undocumented? How do you have those statistics if you don't have any of their social securities, because that's how you document them in general? You don't know that since they aren't within any of the evidence.
Because you don't need a social security number to get caught for committing a crime, right?
But
plus, like undocumented immigrants do have a lot of documentation, right? And the only reason they're called undocumented is because they lack documentation to be a resident or to be a citizen. But this doesn't mean that they don't pay taxes on ITINs. This doesn't mean that they don't access like certain social programs in some of our more democratic states. This doesn't mean, right, that they don't even have like a driver's license. Like undocumented immigrants can get a driver's license in Colorado.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the chat. If you see like my face being like I'm looking at the chat. I'm sorry.
Right, you know, they have jobs, they work, they're actually more likely to actively participate in the labor force compared to citizens, right? And some of them commit crimes, and when they do, they get arrested for it, just like citizens, just like residents. But they do so at significantly lower rates than citizens and residents.
Yes. Sorry. I'm looking at the chat right now, and it's just very disrespectful, and I'm just like, okay.
Well, what I'd recommend is not looking at the chat. Like if you want me to be honest, the best bet would be for you to stop reading the chat, and hopefully, right, if you want to stay up here and have a conversation with me, just kind of like focus on what I'm saying, but chat, let's be nice. Let's take the high road, everybody.
It's the fact that you're saying that, but they're not going to. But yes, I understand what you're saying, but in a way, I'm just like. More, I think it is my positionality where my grandparents and my mom and my father waited their line in turn. And then everyone's just like, we waited our years. We genuinely waited to get to America. And it's like, you think that it's okay to just skip over all of us in a way. We waited our years over.
You don't support them because they think it's okay to break a law.
I just feel like we can make it definitely easier for them to get way less than us.
Summing up what you just said, you don't support them because they think it's okay to break a law. And the reason why you think they think it's okay to break a law is the fact that they did break the law.
It's not that I do not support them. It's that I want it to be easier than it was for me and my family. We waited so long to get here into America, over 10 years in general. And it's like, I definitely wish for everyone else in the future to get here way easier than the process that we had.
Really? Well, the Biden-Harris administration proposed a bipartisan border bill to help in doing exactly that by funding courts on the southern border, an additional $25 billion to hire more judges to expedite legal claims of asylum, residency, and citizenship. Donald Trump shot that bill down. My question to you is, what is one thing that Donald Trump has done since 2017, his first year in the office of the presidency, to make the legal means of entry into this country faster or easier?
He has not done anything. I will concede on that. He has not done anything that I've seen.
Precisely. Because he wants to keep it hard to come into this country legal. So individuals will continue to enter into this country with the use of undocumented means when we don't have a president that wants to play fascist, right? And like infringe on their human and constitutional rights. By the way, in reference to your other point, right, you were getting at the notion that you're really frustrated and you don't really like undocumented immigrants because they think it's okay to break a law. Well, Donald Trump broke 34. Right, and you support him as president. And I find that to be hypocritical as well. But of course, I feel as if we find that hypocrisy within the minds of many Trump supporters.
It's not that I support him in that way. It's the fact that it's not him, if it makes sense.
Right, you're ignoring that fact of his personality.
It's not him as a person.
You're ignoring that fact of his personality and just looking at what you think his impact on the country as the president. Well, why can't we just ignore that fact of the character or past of the undocumented immigrants and look at what their impact on the country as a resident of it? Like the $1.1 through $1.7 trillion they pay per year into the GDP, or the $100 billion per year that they pay in taxes on the federal, state, and local level.
Yes, I've seen that. I know that they definitely have contributed in general as overall. Like, I wish that it was so much easier to make them citizens. That is it. I feel that it's just, I'm sorry, it's just me and my positionality in a way, because I just feel like it's so unfair that we waited so long to get here and have our American freedom, our American dream, and they came over here within a year. And that's it. Okay. Like, I'm Viet and I'm also Hispanic. That's it.
I've responded to that point 3 times as well. 3 times. Three times. 3 times I've given a response to that position. Listen, be honest. Are you geeked?
No, I'm not geeked. I'm not geeked.
Have you hit the pregame?
What do you mean by pregame?
Saturday night in Boulder. You said that you're going out after the game. Usually you hit that with a pregame.
We have not gone out of the game. The game's still going. What do you mean?
I'm asking if you're drunk, Isabella. I was like, okay, I was trying to do so nicely. But I guess
she's not drunk. No, she's not.
No?
She's
okay.
Not drunk.
Okay. I apologize.
She may be buzzed or tipped, but that's it.
Okay. Okay. Do you think the dialogue that we're having here is productive?
I feel like it's better within, because I would be way more argumentative in a way and way more very much not as nice, if that makes sense, if I wasn't. Because we have debated very much within the last time we debated was 2 to 3 months ago, or at least 2 months ago, and I was like, that was way worse.
Oh, I remember you. Did you come up here and debate about abortion?
Yes, I yes.
Oh no. Oh,
but I
no.
wasn't as much. I was not as educated. If that makes sense.
Okay, are you still like anti-abortion?
I'm not anti, if that makes sense. It's more because I just know people here that use it as birth control, and that's where I am mad about it.
Listen, I understand that there's a bunch of rich kids in Boulder. I've never met a single person here that's like, oh, well, I've got about 1 billion abortions, and every time I get, I think I'm pregnant.
That's crazy because I've met a girl that has had 8 here in Boulder. That is at least 8 as her thing.
What year is she?
She's at least a junior to senior.
Yeah, I don't know. But listen, here's what I'll say to that. I think that she should be well within her legal ability to get a 9th, a 10th, an 11th, a 12th, a 13th, a 14th, a 15th, or a 16th. Okay? Because I don't think the way to address somebody like getting multiple abortions, right, is to ban the access to abortion, but is rather to address why they've needed multiple abortions, which likely falls down to a lack of sex education or access to like free and effective contraceptives. Okay? I think that when you ban abortion for somebody that's already gotten 8 of them, right, you are only going to make their life worse, because chances are if they've gotten 8, they're probably going to have an unwanted pregnancy in some point of the future again. And are you really going to stick an unwanted child in the unready household of somebody that you think is irresponsible in that sense? Absolutely not. In that circumstance, the abortion is a saving grace for that individual and for their future potential children. Okay? The way to address and fix that, right, it's not by banning said access, but is rather by advocating for more sex ed, is rather by advocating for access to free and fair contraceptives, by addressing what is causing that issue to persist in the first place, okay? In the same way, I think if somebody is just smoking cigarettes their whole life, okay, and they've gotten like chemotherapy to kill that lung cancer like 15 times, obviously the solution is not to ban them from accessing chemotherapy, but the solution is to rather ask, well, why have they continued to smoke even though they keep on getting lung cancer? And to try to address that through systemic change and educating individuals about the outcomes of smoking cigarettes, educating individuals and allowing them free and fair access to things to help them wean off said nicotine addiction. And I bet you can make the parallels there to abortion, right? And in the relevant sense, if somebody's gotten so many of them, the solution isn't to ban abortion, but just to advocate for more sex ed and access to contraceptives.
I was going to say, I feel like at that point when you're explaining it, it's that we need to provide more education for them, sex educational, like in a way within schools and before that as well, like high school and middle school as well. Because I know that I was taught sex ed before high school and middle school. And at this point, it's like, is that still taught? And in a way, I guess you're right.
And the reason it's not taught is because of the Republicans. The Republicans are the ones that are attacking sex ed. The Republicans are the ones that are attacking contraceptives. The Republicans are the ones that are attacking these things while also enforcing legislation to prevent the termination of an unwanted pregnancy if it were to occur.
I did not know that. Like, it's actually them that is telling them not. I didn't know they're advocating that at all.
Yeah, that's what the Republicans want, Isabella.
I thought that, because I know that conservatives are based on Christian values, because that is what it was based on within originality.
No, I would argue that you should not say that this country was conceived and created and started as a Christian one.
No, I know that the country itself was not, but conservatism, Republican, it was based off of Christianity. Because that's how you base the
conservatism's always been on the wrong side of history. Okay, the conservatives wanted to conserve slavery. The conservatives wanted to conserve traditionalism. The conservatives wanted to conserve oppression of women, oppression of minorities. Conservatives want to conserve, right, like all of like these bad things, right, which are like clearly like in violation of the Christian scripture, right?
I'm sorry, my faces are at this chat saying that I'm a middle child and everything because I'm not a middle child. But yes, you're definitely right. I definitely did. I'm sorry, I keep looking at the chat and I know I'm not supposed to right now, but I should definitely base my point on what you're saying, and I definitely did not know that those bases were based on that as well.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to go over, Isabel?
Not as of right now. I probably will guess myself as well within when I have my other points within not immigration and abortion, because I know that I have when I was coherent and not getting ready for my pre and partying, I know that I have other points.
You just admitted that you're not coherent. So you are geeks.
No, that's not what I meant.
Yes, you're geeks.
I am
Dude, all right.
coherent,
Listen.
but it's the fact that I'm also I'm multitasking so much right now.
Okay, listen. All right, well, listen. Look,
You're in Boulder. You know how it's going right now. This is like, it's game day, pre-games, Halloween, and you know how it's going right now.
Yeah, and I cannot wait, right, to join in the legal and moral degeneracy of getting drunk and going to various house parties once I'm off stream and done debating. But until then, right, it's not a good thing to do, right? You know, because it's hard to have conversations. But you have a good rest of your night, Isabella. Stay safe and take care. But please, seriously, reconsider your beliefs. They're very harmful. They're very harmful. We're going to move on to the next guest right now, guys. Go ahead and hop inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. We're going to get that next guest, Maddie, loaded up into the box right now. All right, folks, here we go. All right, guys, we're going to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Somebody in the chat says you're way too nice. I've noticed that. I've begun to get, like, nicer than I have historically to some of the guests. I don't know. Listen, I think the hope is that, like, if I'm nicer, right, like, they'll be more likely to be open-minded. It's hard. It's hard, though. I'm going to be honest. You know, it's difficult. It's very difficult at points. We're going to move on to the next guest, folks. Only up in that queue if you are an American adult that supports Trump as president. You know, like I am always testing that patience. You know what I mean? Gizmojo, thank you so much for the 10 euros over on Super Chat, as well as Misbehavin'. Thank you for the 11 euros over on Super Chat. And Erica, thank you so much for the $10, who says, Dean, I'm so glad I found your YouTube. Thank you, guys. Shout out to those 3 donors. Thank you guys so much. Let's also go to take a look at Venmo real quick. Let's see. Elena, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. Appreciate you for that love, Elena. And then Heidi, thank you so much for the 10. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Heidi. And then Kevin, thank you for the $20 over on PayPal, who says amazing. Thank you so much, Kevin. Show some love to Kevin down below. As well as Liam with a $10, who says, hey, I'm a Democrat. I want to know what your views on abortion are because I feel like it's wrong, but I also feel like women should have the right to do it. I'm hoping to learn from you. Okay, Liam, here's what I'd say. If you like think that it's like wrong, but you like still think that individuals should be able to access it, right? Like really what I care about is the fact that you think it should be legal. And I actually think that there's a way that you could apply the fact that you think it's immoral to be very beneficial to society. Like for instance, right? A really good role that you could play in society is by like advocating for a reduction in the amount of women that access abortion by eliminating the incentive to begin with. Like for instance, vast majority of abortions, 54% are accessed because of financial instability. So because you think that is immoral, right, that they're getting that abortion, yet you think they should still be able to make that decision for themselves, right? Advocate to eliminate financial instability, right, in women and girls. Okay. Other abortions are gotten because, they don't think that they'll have the means required, right, to start a family, right, related once again to financial means. And although they may not be experiencing financial instability right now, they think they would if they were to give birth and become like a mom or dad, right? Therefore, advocate for better social programs to ensure that new families have everything that they need to support said family. Right? Those are very good roles that you, as somebody that thinks the action is wrong, but yet are still legally pro-choice, could play in society. What's going on, Jordan? Do you support Trump?
I was wondering if you liked anything about Trump, like any of his policies or anything.
And you're a Trump supporter. You know what? I'll tell you if you're down to talk to me about why you're MAGA.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. TikTok good. Right, we went over this yesterday. TikTok good. It extends the TikTok ban illegally, right? But TikTok good, right? So I like that. All right, guys, this next guess is likely going to be the last of the night. And then I am going to go and hop off here. Everyone in the chat is spamming Ad Parker. I think he's over on his own stream right now. Unfortunately. All right, guys, we're going to try to get that last debate of the night. If you want to support me before we hop off here, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok and in the pin message of the YouTube stream. You could also find them both on the top of the phone screen right now. What's up, Ed? Do you support Trump?
Hi. I'm registered Republican, live in New York, and I had a question if you had any thoughts on why the Republican Party keeps sending me text messages to support Cuomo and not Sliwa, because a gangster. I love him. Anyway, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, it's because Cuomo has a better chance at winning, and the Republicans don't really like care, right, about like what happens to people, right? I think that this proves that like they don't genuinely think that like Democrats are going to destroy everything, or even if they do, like they just don't care about actually destroying the country. They just don't want Mamdani to win, or maybe it's because Cuomo is a secret Republican.
But he lost the Democratic race. Like, why would the Republican Party not try to get Cuomo off so that Sliwa could have Cuomo's votes?
Because they think that
Sliwa would win.
They think that Cuomo has a better chance than Sliwa.
But Cuomo is a Democrat.
And I don't think they care. I think that they want Mamdani to lose, and I think they probably know that Cuomo's a secret Republican.
This is insane. Thanks so much. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, dude, Sliwa. That motherfucker. No public office for Sliwa, right? But some of the shit he says cracks me up. Some of the shit he says really cracks me up, man. All right, folks. I think that's going to be it for the night. I am going to go ahead and hop off. It is time. It is time for me to end. So I'm going to send you guys on a ride over to Parker. And I will see you guys tomorrow, by the way, from my regular studio. Can't wait to be back. Ali, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo. He says, have a good night, Dean, and safe travels back home. Thank you for being a beacon of hope in these trying times. Thank you so much, Coral. Thank you, Ali. Show some love. Show some love to Ali down below in that comment section. Thank you for your love. You're always hanging out with us. I really appreciate the hell out of you. But yeah, everyone, if you want to continue to tune into some debates, go ahead and raid Parker at Parker Get a Job on TikTok and YouTube. And I'll see you tomorrow with another 4-hour live stream. Peace and love, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.